This is not a right. This is a privilege.
We know how to play.
This isn't given, it's earned.
We know what we need to do.
You've done years of hard work to get here. Hard yakka. Blood, sweat, tears.
Get up, let's get into it, boys!
It's time to step up, because you won't get a second crack. Moment by moment, centimetre by centimetre, effort by effort. Fight, fight, fight until the siren sounds and the song is sung. It's not up to me, it's up to you. Do you want it enough? This is not just a game. This is the Tasmanian State League. Our best talent, our premier competition. This is not a right. This is a privilege.
We know how to play.
This isn't given, it's earned.
We know what we need to do.
You've done years of hard work to get here. Hard yakka. Blood, sweat, tears.
Get up, let's get into it, boys!
It's time to step up, because you won't get a second crack. Moment by moment, centimetre by centimetre, effort by effort. Fight, fight, fight until the siren sounds and the song is sung.
How's third man up going for you, mate?
I don't know. Bit of fun. It's about walking to at the moment. No, it's all right.
Now he's having a punt on the Dogs.
Oh, yeah. You enjoy it? Yeah. Yeah.
Not bad.
Stayed the whole game.
Sweet. Got two cameras, Duff? No, one camera. Yeah, I'm ready. I reckon we do it soon. Have a chat.
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
Hang on, we'll
What's
just
the score?
wait till they win the toss and we'll see which way.
Well done.
Don't think so.
I think he's candid. Lauderdale left the screen.
Okay, back live.
Do you have any tips today, Brownie?
Yeah, tips.
Yeah, don't punt.
Don't punt. Don't punt. It's a mugs game.
Tell you what, I've been following Adam
What's the
McGrath.
line here?
Do you?
Yep.
Lauderdale.
I can't see over the top of this screen.
have a look, and Lauderdale already playing their hand here. They're going to the
Right of screen.
right of screen.
About to come on, boys. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Southern Cross Tasmanian State League. Round 3 action from Blundstone Arena between two massive rivals in the TSL. It is Clarence versus Lauderdale. My name is Tubes Taylor, and I'm joined by two legends of the commentary game in Brent Costello and Cameron Brown. Welcome, boys.
Afternoon, Tubes. Afternoon, Brownie.
Good afternoon, Tubes, and good afternoon, Brendan. We've got the traditional rivals here, haven't we? The Eastern Shore Derby, or whatever you want to call it. But we know there's no love lost between these two teams, so really looking forward to it, boys.
They hate each other's guts, Cam. Let's not beat around the bush. We are expecting massive things out of this game today. Hopefully, I'm not going to condone violence, boys,
No.
but we like to see a bit of push and shove between these two teams.
Fair attack on the footy is what I'm after today. Brownie, you've been looking at the ins and outs for these two sides. What can you tell us?
Well, Lauderdale, it's a new look Lauderdale, isn't it? Michael Cassidy has left that football club, and so too has Jack Siggins, Kane Waller, both of those boys down at Dodgers Ferry. Weston Tate Turvey's also left the club. Ryan Wiggins returns today too, Tubes. We thought he was going to be out for the season. He had spent some time on the mainland, but's come back to play at Lauderdale, so he'll be here. Adam Duggan's gone, also Nick Dodge, so they might have lost a little bit of goal-kicking power, boys. So we'll touch on Clarence perhaps when we get a stoppage.
Rightio, here we go. Take it away, Brent Costello.
Here at beautiful Blundstone Arena on a glorious day here in Hobart for football. Conditions ideal, not much breeze. The umpire slams the ball into the turf, and the Eastern Shore Derby is underway for 2017. The first one, of course, Jackson O'Brien's there. He's, of course, back in this Clarence lineup. And Lauderdale trying to get it out here. Here's Heavey. Gets around his player, but Clarence turned the ball over and deliver it. Forwards. Now Lauderdale again. Boscott drives it inside 50. And here's Bryce Walsh. He loads up on the right. Can the Lauderdale get the first goal? They can't. It's pushed away to the right for a minor score. So Lauderdale on top early in this game.
Yeah, we mentioned Clarence too, boys. Mitch Williamson is coaching Hutchins. Rowan Bones has gone, and Matt Drury's retired. So they've got a few inclusions into the team, which we'll touch on throughout the day, I should say.
Wiley kicking long. Out towards a half-back flank, punched away. Lauderdale win it down though. Here they come again. They're driving it forward. Down long into that forward 50. Almost a mark taken. Nothing doing there, but coming out the back to mop up is Bailey, and we'll see a ball in.
A lot of hype about Clarence pre-season, Brownie. They've lost a few, but they've probably picked up a lot of good players. I want to keep a close eye today on Michael Fisher, number 3 for Clarence. He was the old Scholars Best and Fairest winner in 2016, and he's come across and tried his hand at the TSL again. He used to play for North Hobart back in the day, so looking forward to seeing how he goes. There's a free kicks payday, and Callanan will take that. It's coming back. He tried to play on with the advantage, but it'll come back. So it's actually going to go to Sam Siggins, I think. And didn't he play well last week? Majority in the ruck, and it's great to see him back playing some good footy.
He's had a late start to the season, as we know, Brent, but was playing some really good footy at the back end of 2016.
Kick long, push in the back. Shepherd called. It'll go the way of Lauderdale. Free kick going the way of Clevercamp. He drives it in forward. Big, strong lead coming out. It's hit him right on the chest, but it's bounced off it. Fife goes bang, and he's driven it long. Beautiful kick and a magnificent goal. Dylan Fife gets the first for Lauderdale, and they look dangerous early, boys.
Yeah, they do, and I love Dylan Fife, the way he goes about it. Watched him for a number of years now, and obviously a very, very tiny man, but so big, and what he can bring to this Lauderdale team, Cam.
He started on the centre bounce on Ian Callanan, so as we know these days they play wide of each other, and so many rotations through the midfield, but he's a real in-and-under type, and a clever around the goals, and he made no mistake, and well done to Clevercamp too. He's a new player to Lauderdale, come across from the TAC Cup side in Dandenong Rangers, so he's more a running half-back, so he'll be looking to set up a lot of the play for the Bombers today.
Back in the middle now. Ruck. Great contest between both those gentlemen there. It's Meager and Siggins. The ball comes out for Clarence. It's picked up nicely there by that man, but holding the ball, not called. Handballed out wide. Here's a chance now for Bell Chambers, driving it long again. Over the back, and that's a strong mark taken by Hill.
He plays on quickly, goes across the face of goal, and the mark taken by Fife again. So Dylan Fife with the chance to get his second goal inside a minute, and this start from Lauderdale has been electric.
Really good play there, wasn't it, by Alex Hill? Took the mark, but had the presence of mind to turn around quickly and see what other options are on. I like Alex Hill, boys. He's come through the juniors and played at Mariners level as well. More in defence, so it's good they're playing up forward because he does give him a target, kicks the ball very well.
Dylan Fife lining up, slight angle. He'll kick from about 30 metres out. Loads up, and it's just pushed to the left for a minor score. So Lauderdale lead this one, 1-8 to Clarence yet to score.
Bit of a let go there by the Lauderdale boys. Should have been a goal. Here they come now, Clarence, moving the ball out wide, finding Bailey. Bailey up the line has Grace, who takes it on the chest. Nice big mop of hair there, Brownie.
I could only dream of that sort of stuff.
Sort of Luke Delhurst-like, going back a few years ago, isn't it?
Grace kicking the ball long up the wing. Big contest forms right here at centre wing. Nice work in the middle there by Lauderdale. They get the kick away through that man in McGuinness. Yeah.
Josh McGuinness back into the scene today. Of course, he's back home after playing up there in Brisbane for a number of years. Oh, someone's been flattened there, and it was Smith that went down.
Yeah, it was the 150 game of Trent Stanton with a bit of a push and shove. Looked like he got him with an open hand in the face, but nothing in that run.
We predicted that pre-game. We could see fireworks here this afternoon. These two teams do not like each other at all, as we see Jackson O'Brien take a mark back from South Australia this year for Clarence. The kick wasn't a great one. It's ended up in the hands of Lauderdale. They've got it now, and they look to go inside. Oh, good tackle though by Clarence. It wasn't. Well, was it paid? Yes, advantage has been paid. Here's Jackson O'Brien now out of defence for the Roos. Hits the chest of his teammate, and he wants to play on quickly, but doesn't. Murphy Cohen it is. He goes inside 50 now. Oh, Wade Wall tried to take the hanger. Here's Jake Cox, the silky Jake Cox, tucks the footy under his arm and goes bang, and gets Clarence's first of the day. Jake Cox.
A little bit of push and shove down there in the goal square too. That's Josh McGuinness who started it.
But another kick, is there?
There is two, so
possibly not.
Beautiful work there, Jake Cox. He kicks his first, and Clarence stay in touch. They are 1-6 to 1-8. Lauderdale by 2 points.
Murphy Cohen's an interesting player. Brent, he's played a little bit of senior footy for Clarence last year. Sorry, there is a free kick going back in the centre of the ground, so we're half right there, boys, after that goal.
So it's Lauderdale now, and on the outer side of the ground here at Blundstone Arena, as I said off the top, perfect conditions for football this afternoon. As Lauderdale look to score again, they go right on 50, punched away, and now standard for the Roos. It's a high ball in the air, punched away though by the Bombers, and they've got it out of defence again, Tubes.
Bombers moving the ball up to centre half forward on this flank. Good little tackle, it's gone out of bounds, and in front of that man there, Keegan Wiley, as we look down on the boundary here. Bit of action there, but a ball in ensues here at the 6-minute mark of the first term.
Ball comes back in. Siggins in the ruck for Clarence. He does some fancy stuff there, got the boot to the ball as Lauderdale chip it forward. Punched away over the boundary though by Michael Fisher, and we'll have a boundary throw in right in the pocket here for Lauderdale, who have started this game pretty well. They're 1-8. Clarence, one straight goal.
Keep your eye on Nat Franklin too, boys. He was a player that just kicked that one out of the stoppage. He's a former Mariners captain and was badly injured last year with knee trouble, so great to see him back playing footy.
He's indeed. Bloscott gets the quick handball away, and Lauderdale fumbles a little bit. They go backwards, ends up with Roberts, who goes high in the air, and a good mark, good strong mark taken there for Clarence, and it's James Holmes who takes that mark. Webberley now, great to see him back playing footy, the coach of Clarence, his first year as outright coach in his own right. He took over from Trent Bartlett last year, of course.
Gee, that's great work from the Lauderdale boys there, just to hold that ball in. There was a 2-on-1, and they've been rewarded.
Yeah, I think it'll be Robbie McManus who will get the free kick here, boys.
Yep, very well called there, Brownie. So Robbie McManus will take the free kick for the Bombers, looking to drive them in from half forward. He's come around a little bit, surprised he hasn't been called to play on. McManus, no real movement in that forward line, so he looks across into the middle of the ground.
Great kick.
Finds his teammate in Stanley, who goes further afield out towards McGuinness. McGuinness chips in nicely in towards Roberts. Roberts takes it on the chest. No real further movement forward there, but they go long now, and it'll be taken by Holmes to repel for the Roos.
Holmes delivers it from the back pocket. And Clarence now have a chance to go forward again. And it has been fairly even. Lauderdale raced out of the blocks there, but Clarence have just slowed things up a little bit. They go to the wing now. Big ball, but punched away. And yeah, it looked like to be a free kick, but we'll have a boundary throw in. There's Trent Standen on the screen. We mentioned him earlier. Cam playing his 150th game today. What a servant he's been for Clarence over the journey. He's a wonderful player, Trent Standen, a silky smooth player and very dangerous in front of goal, of course. So the ball thrown back in right on the wing here at Blundstone Arena. This time last week, of course, AFL being hosted here. It's the Eastern Shore Derby today. Umpire blows the whistle, the mark's paid, and there you go, it's coming back, actually. So,
Not sure why it's going to come back, maybe.
Really gives Lauderdale an opportunity here to reset, doesn't it, boys? So if there's ever an advantage rule that needed to be paid, it was that one. But umpire's job is very difficult, so they've made the call and they've got to stick by it. Clarence from centre wing.
Lauderdale by 2 points, and we're at the 6-minute mark of the first term. It's over again. Boys, interestingly, this is for the Speak Up, Stay Chatty Cup today these two teams play for, but I noticed on the team sheets that the runner for Clarence is Mitch McPherson, who's the founder of Speak Up, Stay Chatty, so showing his allegiances a little bit there, Mitch. But what a wonderful cause that is and continues to be.
Really terrific stuff. Half forward here for Clarence as the ruck contest has just come down to the bottom. Little worked out by the Bombers and they're away here. They've got numbers around the footy. The kick wasn't as good as it was supposed to be. Webley tries hard. He just gets wrapped up by Wiggins and they will win the footy out here, the Roos. They've got numbers there everywhere, but they run into each other. Great work there by the Bombers and they're away through Sutton, who dribbled it forward, and a free kick is going the way of
Robbie McManus
again. Yeah, he's been good, Brownie.
He's one of those Lauderdale players, Tubes, that's played 7 or 8 years of senior footy now. So a lot of these guys have played a lot of footy together, come through the juniors, even at Mariners level. And guys like this fella, Bill Chambers is another one, Walsh and the like. So plenty of experience among them now.
Not a great kick there from Joshy McGuinness. It was straight into his opponent. Now Webley gets the handball away. Out to the chance, but 5 quick hands away to the man we were speaking about earlier, McManus. Now a chance for Lauderdale. Under pressure though. Fisher has his Lauderdale opponent well under pressure. Oh, Holmes smashed into the turf and it dribbles out of bounds for a boundary throw-in.
That's Lamsus, Corey Lamsus, who did the tackling there, boys. Very interestingly spelt name, but have it on good authority from his old man that it is Lamsus. We've been told for many years through the junior footy.
Very good. Here's Callan got the handball away.
Brady
Jones in the helmet today, Cam.
Yeah, he's had some issues in terms of concussion, so obviously precaution. He's been wearing that for a while now with his football.
That's great tackle down there by Aidan Grace. He'll probably be rewarded yet. Very well done.
Good call, Chibs. He's a really versatile player, Aidan Grace. I've seen him come forward and kick multiple goals at times for Clarence, and he can do a job down back and can also roll through the midfield.
Ian Callanan takes the mark from the kick of Brady Jones. And Callanan plays on quickly inside 50 and a mark taken there by Trent Standen.
That's a kick from Callanan. It's just a wheel onto the left foot.
So Standen, as we said, is 150th today.
If you're going to do a best of side of the last 10 years, this guy is one of your first picked as that small forward. He's continually kicked 40 or 50 goals year after year.
Standen, the sun causing him a little bit of grief. He loads up and it looks like it might just be off to the right, and it is a minor score. So
looked like he was worried about the distance a little bit there, boys. That's why he ran around the arc, just trying to get that extra meterage.
Lauderdale to bring it out from full back. Nice strong kick up to the wing position. Numbers here with Lauderdale. They work it out nicely. Here they go, the Bombers, but a great little chip off by Holmes. He dives on the foot. He may get penalised here. Umpire comes in and says, no, fire opportunity. Give it to me, thanks. There's a little bit of push and shove there. Ryan Wiggins didn't like it.
Good to see Wiggins back playing TSL footy. Back today for Lauderdale for his first game of the season. Was over in Victoria for the pre-season, but has opted to come home. And as Darren Winters said during the week, what a time to get him as well. That's out in the full.
It is. Good call, Brent.
And the kick will go to Lauderdale. Just trying to find the right option here, and umpire tells him to hurry up. And that's been smothered off the boot. But Lauderdale are good enough to keep the ball. They get it inside the centre square. And now have a chance to play on quickly. They do just that.
That's great transition there by Lauderdale. They've got numbers out wide here on the wing if they want it. But decides against it. No, it does come that way. Finds Clever Camp from 50. That's a big roost. Man down there is Borscott, who flies high and takes a screamer. What a beauty. Thor Borscott. Wow.
He can do that, boys. He's got some serious talent and can go forward and kick goals. He can win the footy in the midfield. But really, that was a mark out of nothing. I just thought the kick in the end from Clever Camp was probably going to be knocked through. But have a look at this on the replay, boys. Just launches himself.
That was a ripper.
Almost marked it on the way down, a bit like Liam Pickett's marking the grand final for the Bulldogs, and he makes no mistake.
Beautiful work by Thor Borscott. Wow. Unbelievable stuff. I love seeing that stuff, and that's what makes our game the best in the world.
He's an interesting player, Borscott, and even going back a few years ago, Brent, at draft level, he was certainly
much hype about him, wasn't
by some clubs, and certainly on their radar without having his name called out. It was certainly in the mix. It looks like he's making his way back into the back half, which is interesting. So he's drifted forward there.
So it's Lauderdale with a handy little buffer here, 7 points, and we're 14 minutes gone in the opening term of this Eastern Shore derby. And that wasn't a great bounce at all. Yeah, it's coming back, as it should have. So we love these games, boys. As we said off the top, Clarence and Lauderdale, there's been so many subplots to their stories over the journey, and no doubt this year will get even bigger. Of course, Sam Siggins, the man in the ruck as we speak, was a big part of the story last year after he switched to the rival club. Here's Lauderdale again.
They look good as they go forward, boys. That's a clever touch over the top. Here's a chance now for Fife. Gets his handball off away, and they're away again through Heavey, who just kicks it out of bounds on the full into the woodwork. So it will be Fisher to take the kick.
Really nice work from the centre clearance there. Once again from Nat Franklin. Loving having him back. He's been good, Alex Heavey. He works really, really hard, picks up a lot of possessions. One of those boys we were talking about off air, Brent, that's played a lot of footy at Lauderdale now. With a lot of these younger boys, they all came through when they were about 17 or 18.
Jackson O'Brien spilt the footy there, but was good enough to collect it back. Siggins right on the boundary line, but look at him go. Sells the candy, handballs over the top. He's a silky player, Sam Siggins. He's caught up there though, gets the handball away. Goes backwards towards dangerous territory for the Roos. Fife picks it up. And now Lauderdale again, another inside 50. So they've had most of the inside 50s in this game so far. Dangerous little period here for the Roos, and they rush it over for a rush behind. So
they did pretty well then, Keegan Wiley. He didn't had to disguise it, and he just knocked over the boundary line, the ex-Mariner there, so well done.
Clarence to bring it out. Numbers here, comes out, finds O'Brien nicely. Nothing really to kick to though. Movement now, beautiful work there by that man in Chalmers. He has it at the back pocket. Again, no real movement here, boys. Kicks long, up to the half wing, but punch should have been marked. Numbers here with Lauderdale. Must get it away. Great tackle there. Swings around onto his right boot, and look at that. Lucks of fortune, boys. Lauderdale will kick from here, about 20 metres out. Raymond Hill has the footy. Tough angle, but Lucks of fortune. He just swung around and kicked to no one in particular there, boys.
He was unmarked. I'm not sure whether it was Brady Jones' man. He got sucked into the stoppage, or it just happened to be him who's man in the mark. But he was found himself in a bit of space here, and he really needs to convert here, Hill. It's a pretty gettable shot, you would think.
He lines up. Looks great off the boot, straight through the middle, and Hill gets Lauderdale's third, and they sneak out now to a 14-point lead.
There's much talk about Clarence at the start of the year, boys, as we mentioned. You know, a lot of ins, lots of outs, but the same can be said for Lauderdale. And these two sides are showing it here today that they've managed to sort of merge together nicely, haven't they, the boys?
Well, Lauderdale certainly lost a lot of players. We touched on that off the top of the show today. But Clarence, obviously their Former coach Matthew Drury left the team, as did Big Mitch Williamson, Cam. So they lost a lot of experience. The Roos have picked up a bit, as we said. Michael Fisher's in from the old scholars, and Jackson O'Brien's back.
And Webley, of course.
And
too.
Webley,
It's a
like a
big-
new recruit,
big
isn't he?
inclusion.
Absolutely. So here's Fife again, who's been busy in this first quarter for Lauderdale. Heavey, handballs away. And again, they go to the wing. Good, strong tackle there by the Roos. And the umpire's blown his whistle. It's
Free
holding the
kick
ball.
to Jason
Free
Bailey,
kick,
I'd say.
okay.
That was a great tackle.
Was a good
Brilliant.
tackle, yeah. So Bailey will get the kick though for Clarence.
Been a reliable
And 50
player for
boys.
him.
So a bit of chirp out there, and
Against Ryan Wiggins.
the umpires won't cop that, and this will bring him within range. Cam, what's he like from this distance?
Well,
Bailey?
we've seen him play a lot, haven't we, over the journey, but more as that defender and
Yeah.
obviously taking the opposition's best forward. So he wouldn't have had too many opportunities. So let's hope for Clarence's sake he doesn't kick it like a backman, but all backmen love coming forward and kicking a
do.
goal. Normally kicks it pretty well. Him and Castle have been stalwarts down in the back half of Clarence for a long time now.
As a former backman, I'd love to kick this goal too. So let's see Bailey right on the 50.
Oh,
He's
dear.
shanked it out towards the pocket. But nice work again down there by Aidan Grace, who I've really enjoyed watching his game today. He's right on the mark there. Great tackle again. Nothing doing here. Umpire will throw it up. So it is Clarence 1-1-7, trailing Lauderdale 3-3-21. Southern Cross Tasmanian State League from Blundstone Arena, here streaming across the world on Duff TV.
Kick out of midair by the Roos, and just gone through for a minor score. So trying to create something there, Clarence, as they try and peg their way back and claw their way back to Lauderdale's score here. And it's been a good quarter for Lauderdale. They've just hit time on, and they lead by 13 points as they bring it out of defence. They kick it right along the wing. A loose man is there, but punched away by Bailey from behind. Shanked that kick a moment ago. Fife on the ground. Webley's in there. And he's dragged over the line and just testing his shoulder a little bit there too after he came back from that shoulder injury last year, of course, Jeremy Webley. And the Lauderdale boys would know that. Well, couldn't be taken there as you see the replay here. Just watch this again. Webley really slammed down to the turf.
Ruck contest here at half forward for the Roos. Little handball out, but a great tackle again. The Roos have it now, but it's coughed up straight down the throat of Anderton. And they string a few handballs together here, the Bombers. Cruel bounce, but it's Holmes that picks it up, and the Roos will bounce back through Walsh.
Here's Wade Wall now. The big ruckman, he kicks it. And it goes to Cox right on 50. He goes on
Great
the
kick.
left,
Wow.
and he spots up his teammate Siggins, and Sam Siggins will go back now and kick from about 25 metres out, directly in front. So you'd back him in from here, Sam Siggins. There's Mitch McPherson on screen, as we mentioned before, playing for the Speak Up Stay Chatty Cup, of course. And Siggins against his former team, Cam. Wasn't this a story last year when he came back home from Adelaide? He went to Lauderdale, switched over to Clarence mid-year after a few issues, and now lines up against his former team. The kick's a beauty, and he splits the middle. No, he doesn't.
No,
It's gone to the
just
right.
Kind
So
of leant back on a little bit.
Yeah.
Normally a really good kick.
That'll sting him, won't it, boys?
he should have kicked that one, that's for sure.
Ball comes out towards McGuinness. That's Josh. Has it in the back pocket for the Bombers. Dangerous kick into the middle of the ground. It flew through the sun there, and it was picked up nicely there by Castle, who drives it long. Grace with the fly. Big punch away. It's picked up nicely there by Cox, who kicks his second for Clarence, and they stay in touch.
Talk about players that have been dominant in the TSL for the last 4 or 5 years, and Jake Cox, whether that be at Glenorchy or since coming across to Clarence, he's been a terrific player in this competition and can go forward, Brent, and kick goals. We know he can break it open with his foot skills, running on that left foot and break the lines and run and carry. But he's smart, and if Clarence can get it into his hands, more often than not inside forward 50, it's going to be a goal. He's in the perfect spot. Good contest, as you called it, too, Tubes, from Grace, just to bring it down to ground, and that's where we saw swinging on his left foot was Cox for a goal.
So Clarence just lifted the tempo here in the last few minutes. Lauderdale win this ball up though.
They've killed him out of their centre clearances,
They
boys,
have.
Franklin in particular.
They have indeed. as they go forward again. Picked up by McGuinness, who was taken a little high, but the umpire... Oh, he's picking for holding the ball. So Josh McGuinness is pinged there, and the free kick will go Clarence's way.
He looks a little dumbfounded.
He does, doesn't he? Very shocked with that decision.
So Clarence from centre wing, looking to drive the ball long. Again, there's not a lot of movement down there, boys. They're just kicking in hope. Big contest. That's a great mark taken down there by Harper, who swings around quickly, wants to move the ball on fast. That's driven down into towards the pocket. Cox is there. Big punch away by Boscott, and it will be a boundary throw-in. 24 minutes gone in this turn.
You beat me to it, Tubes. 6 minutes, 6 points the difference, as Tubes said, 23-minute mark of this first quarter. So a nice, entertaining contest. Had a couple of blowouts the last couple of weeks on the live stream, so nice to have a close contest here in the Eastern Shore Derby. The umpire will come in again and ball this one up. But not a bad crowd in, boys, too. There's a few punters over there in front of where the ball is now. So
we were saying earlier,
members is quite full up the top there. So good, a beautiful day for footy, as we know. Ball lurking near Clarence's goal. Oh, could have been taken high there and was. Yes, the free kick is going the way of Lauderdale.
Jordan Roberts, I think.
Yeah, Roberts will take it. Here he comes out of the back line. And he got a teammate there. Boscott's there and takes the good mark.
Yeah, he worked to the front nicely there. He plays on quickly, tries to shrug the tackle, gets away, does okay. Smith has it now, goes backwards. Lauderdale with the numbers. Just need to chip it up. Nice little easy one there, but Fisher came fast. Handballed over the top. Weatherly has it now, switches into the middle. That's a good kick in towards his teammate there, Jones. Jones to the half-forward position. Missed the mark, but that was a horrible effort there, and Clarence will make them pay. And another goal going the way of the Roos. I think it
Matthew
was, Matty Ling off the wing there. Ling off the wing kicks his first for the Roos.
Yeah, you called it, Tubes. It wasn't the best effort there from young Reece Sutton. I think he might have gone one-handed, or just the perceived pressure worried him out of it. And, a spilt ball, and they paid the ultimate price, and all of a sudden, he's got scores 11, boys.
3-3-21 apiece, so can't be too long to go in this first quarter. Watching it exclusively live on Duff TV through various social media channels. Big punch down, and now the Roos have it again, and a taken high there, yeah. So Lauderdale will get the kick, and they'd love another goal here, Lauderdale, from what's been a pretty good first quarter from them.
Been pretty quiet. Bryce Walsh, boys, we're normally used to him racking up a lot of the footy. Lauderdale captain, of course.
Oh, they just went the man then. Grace was the only one that wanted the ball then, boys. As the ball comes down to the half-forward line for Clarence. Strong stuff there by Smith, but numbers with Lauderdale. They're going out here, and as you said, he's been quiet, Walsh, but he gets wrapped up in the tackle, and we'll see a ball up. Needs to impose himself on the game, Brycey Walsh, off that half-forward flank.
Well, he's a dangerous player, Tubes, isn't he? He wins a lot of the footy, particularly at clearance level, but he can go forward and kick goals.
Here's Boscott.
Gee, that was clever.
Lauderdale again. As I said, they'd love another goal here before quarter time. Sutton drives it long, and the sun just got in the eyes there of the Lauderdale player, and now Clarence Jones snaps it. And taken there by Lauderdale, so the turnover again. And we see McManus. Oh, he's tackled at the last minute, and Clarence turned the ball over. So all happening here at Blundstone Arena. Callanan turnover again. So some pretty scrappy stuff going on here as we count down the seconds before quarter time. Clarence, a high ball into the centre square. And a free kick going to be paid here. Will go the way of Lauderdale, I'd say. And McGuinness will take it for the Bombers. Pushes wide. Fife kicked the opening goal of the game. He plays on quickly. He kicks. Great kick.
Absolutely brilliant.
Fantastic kick to Wiggins, who's back today. We mentioned earlier, Ryan Wiggins from Victoria. So he'd love a first quarter goal here, boys. Have a look at this kick again from Fife. Hits him beautifully on the chest.
Absolute burner there from Fife. Just magnificent lead as well from Wiggins. And he'll go back and kick it his first. Tough angle.
Ryan Wiggins back from Victoria. So Lauderdale really pleased to have him back. One of their key players, of course. He goes long and it's pushed across the face of goal for a minor score. So not the outcome he would have liked, and puts Lauderdale in front though that point. So they may go to quarter time holding a slender lead.
But definitely a better team with him, Ryan Wiggins. We know he's kicked a lot of goals at statewide league level.
Ball punched out.
Gone out of bounds, and we'll see a ball in right on the 50 metre here, the forward 50 for the Bombers.
So we're close to a 30-minute quarter.
Yeah, it's gone a long time, hasn't it?
6 goals kicked. As it comes back in, Wade Wall in the ruck for Clarence.
He's been good, Fife.
Oh, he's been unreal. Here's Heavey now, collects the ball. He goes inside 50. Mark couldn't be taken by Hill, but does well. The ball in the air, Webley. And he's a clever player. Jeremy Webley gets the kick away, but unfortunately it's straight to the opposition. So quarter time here at Blundstone Arena in the Eastern Shore Derby, the first of 2017. Lauderdale lead it 3-4-22, Clarence 3-3-21.
It's going to take a mighty kick from here, boys. He's about 55, well, the mark is 55 metres out, so it's a 60-metre kick.
Don't think he's got it in him, young Alex Heavey. Well, he's not young now. He's probably in his mid to late 20s, been around Lauderdale footy club for a long time.
Tell you what, he's given it a fair old roost.
Oh,
he hasn't, has he?
Goodness
Well, there
me!
you go.
Oh.
That is extraordinary.
Unbelievable stuff from Alex Heavey, and that will give them a boost going into quarter time. It is Lauderdale 3-4-28 to Clarence 3-3-21. Goal kickers for Lauderdale are Alex Heavey with that absolute monster from 65 out, as we're seeing on the replay here. Dylan Fife has one, Thor Boscott has one, and Hill has one. Then we've got 2 for Jake Cox and 2 for Ling. Sorry, Jake Cox has 2 and 1 for Ling. And that gives us a 7-point margin leading into quarter time for the Bombers, boys. How did you see that?
Well, that was a highlight, wasn't it, Alex Heavey? We wrote him off, boys.
That's
Apologies
goal around.
to him and his family.
It's often a
if they're
classy
watching.
goal, isn't it, you see, or, you know, a smart goal, but that will be goal around for
Well, that's why the torpedo punt still has a place in the game.
Absolutely.
Because he wouldn't have made it with a drop punt and went back and slotted it. He was probably 55 metres out.
About halfway through, I didn't think it was going to get there.
Looked
But
80 metres out to me.
It just kept going. Oh, come on. Come on, Brent. All right, we'll have a little break here at quarter time. It is Southern Cross Tasmanian State League, 3rd round action. Clarence versus Lauderdale. It is Lauderdale by 7 points.
Kick's good, mate. Okay, boys, bring it in. All right. Just go through some of these. Okay, it was a good start. I just thought we started getting sucked into free kicks, second for the ball. If I was him, I'd just keep whacking it, because you know he's going to retaliate. What we want is just everybody to take a minute, okay, to think about what's important. Coming in over the top when someone's on the ground is not important to us, okay, because that's just a free kick and the way they go. Okay, so let's make sure we're not first to the ball, then we're hell-bent on getting it back, okay, in a way that we're not going to give free kicks away, okay? All right, so stoppages. Our hands from our stoppages were slick. And you know what, sometimes they're going to knock it down, but if we roll together and we start it again, away we go. And sometimes they're going to get it and intercept it. But that's the way we're playing, okay? So that was really good. Inside 50s. I reckon the thing with inside 50s, we didn't have enough tick leads coming back. So once we had to try and kick it over the back of guys all the time. So our goal is to get tick leads coming back at them, okay?
I think if you could be punched in a bit more rather than just set up forwards.
There's no setup. We're just punching the ball.
There's a lot of holes in
it. Okay. Free kicks, we give a couple away. Okay, 20 to 30 marks. Okay, we probably need to shut it down. One of the things that they did, once they got the ball out here, they were able to release out the other side. Our forwards need to come up and shut down the middle of the ground. Okay, or our wingmen need to. So they started getting over the back of us. Okay, so our backs we just need a longer gatekeeper, and your whole role is to get everybody organised. Okay, so they can't get it out over the top of us. All right, so we want to hold our structure well, but we just need someone that they can't get over the back of us. Okay, all right, down the line. Okay, we've got 3 and we switched it 3 times. Okay, so it's been a bit of a battle so far, so that's not too bad. Tackle 9. I reckon we know that they're going to try and get around us. We need to get our tackles a lot sharper and a lot more physical. Okay, and get lower. Okay, we know. Top 6, they won't handball it off. They want to kick the ball, so we need to really drive in and tackle. Okay, the pressure has been really good. We need to maintain that. The big one is keep flicking the ball around. They hate chasing. Okay, keep flicking the ball around. Shut down the middle of the ground when they've got it. Okay, they don't like to go long down the thick. When they do go long, then they will run forward to try and open us up. Okay, so we just need to be able to not react to it, but get in better positions so we can win the ball much quicker. Okay, it's a good start, but we need to get.
Let's go working hard here.
We need to probably get a little bit more.
Well, what an insight we've got there, boys, here at Duff TV, listening to the entire quarter-time commentary from the man, Darren Windy Winter down there. A lot less expletives than I thought would have been in there.
Got one in there at the end, I think.
Yeah, apologies for those out there on the live stream, but what an insight, boys. How good is that?
Awesome, Brandy. Tear it apart for us. You are a former coach, so what did you make of all that, please?
No, well, I think he was pretty happy with the first 15 or 20 minutes, just paraphrasing, but he certainly felt Clarence were getting them on the spread at different times. So wanted the defenders, and in particular wingmen, to guard some of that corridor space. And in particular wanted them to flip it around more if they needed, because it was felt like some of the Clarence boys didn't like to chase, but also reflected on some of the Clarence ball winners and how they like to kick the footy, so he wanted them to get in hard and tackle.
There's the great man Andrew Hopwood, the Lauderdale legend and Duff TV legend as well, down there on the boundary for Lauderdale. So second term here, boys, it is a 7-point margin to the Lauderdale Bombers. They're in front. We're about to go here for second quarter TSL action live from Blundstone Arena.
Still persisting with Cox up forward too, Brent, which is interesting. He's at full forward target. He'll roll up in the midfield at some point during this quarter.
Here we go, second quarter of the Eastern Shore Derby. And Siggins, umpire's put something out here, and he's coming back.
Not happy with his throw.
Okay. Old me either, that was rank.
Michael Fisher in the centre square too.
Yeah, that's a big move.
Siggins taps it down to himself, he kicks it in the air. Grace chasing hard for the Roos. Turns around and kicks it on the right. High ball, Fisher lurking, couldn't take the mark. And the Roos managed to keep it in though. No, they don't. It's gone out of bounds, and Trainer almost got clean up there. Boundary throw in.
A couple of outs too for the Roos, isn't it? Jack Gleeson, I think one of their best and fairest last year, and also Kyle Palmer-Hughes, the left footer. He's currently not in the team today.
Boundary thrown right on the 50-metre, one down by Siggins. He tries hard again, comes out the back to Fife. Fife with time. Just a small man, just manages to sneak through, finds his man Hill up further. Right at half forward for the Roos.
This is the one too where they've got they've needed someone to lead. As there's been a turnover badly there.
Siggins takes the mark. Good player, Sam Siggins. He loads up. A high ball inside 50. Lots of Clarence targets. Cox takes a brilliant mark and it's paid. So he is a star, Jake Cox. We saw that in the opening term, and he'll go back now and try and slot Clarence's first of the second quarter.
Well, turnovers kill you in this game, don't they, Brent, no matter what level. And Lauderdale were probably looking for an outrider kick down the line. But then we saw the chip go in board and cut off by Siggins, and all of a sudden leaves Cox with his second shot on goal. Jake Cox should not miss from here. He goes on the left and slots the goal. So Clarence get the first of the second quarter, and this one is back to a 1-point ball game. Clarence 4-3-27, Lauderdale 4-4-28.
A lot to be said about that kick from Siggins as well, Brandy. It was just a massive penetrating kick from outside 50 that found its way to the top of the square. Really dangerous spot there, but the mark by Cox can't be understated either. An absolute ripping contested grab there to him, and as you say, he kicked the goal. 1 point the difference. That was his third for this game.
That's where, as you mentioned, Tubes, with Siggins in the ruck, he's such a long kick of the football, and that carried, and people probably a little bit caught out the Lauderdale defenders, but it's a bonus having him in the ruck. He plays as that tall midfielder.
There he goes again, and the ball out to no one in particular. Picked up by the Roos. No, it's not. Webberley, though, at the back, collects for Clarence. He goes to the wing. Ball's a little too high for Grace, and gone over the boundary line, boundary throw in.
You can tell a little bit about some of these players that we've watched over the past few weeks, like your Websters, but Webberley out here today just seems to have a little bit more time. And maybe that's just the thing that separates these AFL-style players, as Siggins just grabs it out of the ruck to Brent Costello's amazement. Ball comes down. That's a clever handball over the top. The Roos are out here. They've got numbers everywhere running in. Beautiful goal.
Trent Standard, game 150.
I was just about to say, boys, a bit of upside too for Clarence, I think, in this game, because Standard and Cullen have probably been reasonably well held up until this point in time. But well done again from Siggins in the ruck.
That's right. That's where it all started, wasn't it? A beautiful quick handball out and went from there. So a chain of events led to the Trent Standard goal, but you could almost write that one down for Sammy Siggins out of the ruck. Good unselfish handball away too there by Blackburn.
Yeah, it's good presence of mind, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And standing on the overlap, he's not going to miss from there.
When you get a 150th gamer running past you screaming for the footy, you're going to give it to him, aren't you, boys? So back in the middle here. Clarence out in front by 5 points. Ruck contest between Siggins and the young man of Liam Meagher, who's only a 17-year-old, boys. As the ball comes out, it's going the way of...
it was Ling.
Yeah, Ling.
Now, good mark taken there by Josh McGuinness, going back with the fly of the ball. He gets it away to Harper. Oh, sorry, it wasn't Harper, it was Sutton. And
just dropped it like a hot potato, didn't he there, Smith? The umpire will ball it up right at centre-half forward for the Roos.
Chambers looks like he's got that lockdown roll on Bryce Walsh. He's done a pretty good job.
I was about to say, we haven't seen Bryce Walsh as much as we would have thought, I guess, at this stage of the game. Fisher, clever, but Fife, he's down into the turf here at Blundstone Arena. The Roos managed to get it out, though. And now it's Harper going inside 50. Standen again, he gets the quick handball away. And Clarence have a chance here. Oh, it's intercepted. And the ball goes to ground. So Clarence, just when you thought they might have grabbed a goal there, unfortunately, Blackburn was caught up and
with his own feet.
He was, he was.
You called it, Brent. It was a lightning crumb off the pack from Standard. A really slick handball.
So Lauderdale smash it away, trying to get it out of the danger zone. But here's Callanan. He goes on the left and he finds Grace. And the mark's been taken, and he'll race back. What's going on?
There's only 30 seconds left on the
clock. What's going on there?
Not sure.
Very unusual scene. So Grace now.
That's Callanan's bread and butter there, boys, isn't it? Just at the bottom of a pack coming around and just has that time to find and spot up a teammate. And he's just got electric skills. So Grace will kick for his first.
He'll do it from about 45, 46 metres out from goal.
Always got this interesting run up.
Goodness gracious me. Josh Kennedy type style. He loads up Grace and If it
Wow.
works, it works, boys, and that certainly worked for Aiden Grace. He kicks his first of the game, and that is one of the more unusual things you will see. First, he's raced back to the mark, to his spot, I should say,
Look
and
at
he's
this.
come up with this.
That's
Bit
the
of,
Tassie two-step going one way there, boys. Look
Dancing
at
with the
this.
stars, calling his name.
Well, he's played a really great
It
game
was a
today,
beautiful
Aiden
kick, though.
Grace.
The goal
Yeah.
umpire didn't move, and that's 3 goals in 6 minutes for the Roos. So Lauderdale have got to do something here to stem the flow. But as you called it, Tubes, a beautiful spin out of the pack there from Ian Cullen. Left foot kick, just had the composure and poise to spot up a man, and that's a difference, isn't it, when you can get those kicks inside 50. It's telling, and a great finish from Grace.
It's unusual style, but as I said, whatever works, works, and that worked wonderfully well for the Roos. Here's the Bombers now. Clarence have really worked their way back into this game to be on top.
Walsh handballs out wide, finds his teammate there in Anderton, who gets a kick away, and beautiful lead, and mark taken there by Boscott.
He's got to go back and kick the goal.
He does, and he goes and plays on Cam. He probably should have, though, you're right. And now the Bombers go for goal, and it's pushed away to the left, and the kick from Wish Wilson, I should say, unfortunately wasn't what Lauderdale have hoped for. Why wouldn't you have gone back and kicked
Well,
that
he
goal?
was only 40 metres out. Just again, that's probably the difference. Just a little bit of composure. He plays on the edge, though, we know that, Thor Boscott, but that was an opportunity for him to go back after a really nice pass inside 50 and kick the goal.
Just trying to bring his teammates into the game, perhaps. So we've got a ball in on the half-forward line for the Bombers. Beautiful day for footy. That sun will disappear soon, I'm sure, over the Ricky Ponting stand. And although probably not.
Good crowd, we mentioned that earlier. I
Yeah.
couldn't get a park, boys. I had to park
It's the
about
same
2 or
way.
3 blocks away.
What, they didn't have a Brent Costello reserve sign out there for you,
Well,
Reno?
usually in the work car, so you just roll in wherever you like. But today I was in the private car.
They're
And,
out here, boys.
they are indeed. Here's Clarence now. They go inside. There's a player lurking. It's Cox. He's got plenty of time. And he goes in, easy as you like, kicks the goal. And Clarence have their 7th. They move to 7-3, 45. Lauderdale 4-5, 29. The Roos well on top of this game.
And this is why they are such a damaging team at times, Clarence, when you saw there the kick came from Brady Jones. Out the back was Stan and had the presence of mind. Knew he had to kick it quickly. And unfortunately there for Lauderdale, Ed Stanley lost balance, fell over, and Cox was able to run in and kick. What's that, his 4th?
Yeah, his
Tube?
4th
so
goal.
he's a difference at the moment. But my point being, Clarence's best 6 or 7 players are as good as anyone in the competition. And if they can get hold of the footy, they will cut you up. So I think that's, what's that, Tubes? 4 goals in a row, isn't it, now to Clarence?
Yep, unbelievable stuff. So out of the middle, there's a free kick going the way of Lauderdale to go to Fife. The little man from the middle of the ground has numbers out wide. He'll find Anderton in the helmet, goes back. Boscott comes at him, ignores that. Looking around, finds Fife again. Fife plays on quickly as he bounced off the man and back to Anderton. Anderton holds it well, beautiful kick there, nice work in towards that man who can't take the mark. Dropped it behind him there, Boscott came hard. Great work down there by Clarence to hold it up, I think, here. And we may see the ball up here. No, play on's the call. Rough stuff there as Callanan gets it out as it comes in hard. No free kick given. Handball over the top. Oh, but it's straight to Grace, and Grace just swings it around. Must take a mark here. Doesn't. Leads the footy there, the Bombers.
So Clarence now, see it over the boundary line. And the tide really has turned in this game. As we said, the margin now out to 16 points, and Clarence just appear to be on top, Brownie.
Yeah, look, we go back to the kick of Boscott, was an opportunity, and then young Ray Hill, as Tubes called it, just had an opportunity there and would have liked to have held on to that mark with an inside 50 kick again. Clarence just a little bit cleaner, a little bit more dangerous on the spread. I think it's going to be a free, no?
No, he's going to ask him to ball it in again, I think. It's
So
got to go the 18 metres.
Sigo just kicked it out of mid-air there as it came in. So we go again, take 2, right in the middle here at Blundstone Arena on the wing. Siggins tries it again, just trying to kick it out. Gets the handball away, Callanan. And now Clarence have numbers, plenty of numbers in fact. They look to go inside 50. Chance now to run onto the ball. Gabby Chambers, standard. Unfortunately, the handball wasn't a great one from Speedy. And McGuinness ended up with it. Here's Grace, turns around on the right, looks at goal, and it's a beauty. So Aiden Grace kicks Clarence's 8th goal And they are well on top now over Lauderdale in this Eastern Shore derby of 2017.
It's been a real find for them over the last couple of years. Aiden Grace is a damaging player, pretty smart, makes good decisions with the ball in his hand, and just had the presence of mind then to realise that he had a little bit of time, didn't blaze away, steadied and kicked the goal. They're just a bit cleaner, a little bit more composed at the moment in the contest, Lauderdale. I thought early on, boys, Lauderdale were winning the stoppages, particularly out of centre clearances. And a really smart finish from Grace. And Lauderdale have got to do something different here, just trying to think what they might need to do. Do they put one behind the footy to stem the flow a little bit? It's a run of 5 unanswered goals now to the river end for the Roos.
I think make the move and put Boscott in the middle, in the ruck, I reckon. There you go, there's my call.
Free kick going the way of the Bombers here. We're just
Chambers, boys.
11 minutes into this second quarter, so we're heading to
definitely need the next goal.
They do, that's what I was about to say, Brownie. It's sort of getting away from a little bit, the Bombers, so they do need to kick one quickly.
This is the kick that's been hurting them, almost the money ball kick, the one inside 50, they've struggled with. That's
a high ball, no one home for the Bombers though, and Clarence out of defence, so they're just all over them at the moment. Here's Siggins again, who's been fantastic for the Roos. And they kick it out through Brenner, who goes to the wing, and Grace again, who's been all over the footy in this second quarter and the first quarter to be, in fact. So he's been playing really well, Aiden Grace. He drives it long and no one on their own. So Lauderdale able to get it out. Walsh, whose name we haven't called a lot today. He's been quieter than we would normally see him, Bryce Walsh.
He's probably one that's got to live for Lauderdale to get back into this game.
Still with the Bombers, but turned over by the Roos. The kick isn't a bad one. Stanton was there. And picked up now by Clarence again. The kick.
That's great. Really good play there from Hayden Smith.
Absolutely. Heavey, who kicked that monstrous goal to finish the opening quarter, gets it back again, Heavey. Plenty of time and space here for Lauderdale.
Yeah.
They are away. Boss got over his head, but the mark taken. And now we see Wiggins go in and kick a goal. Yeah. So a much needed one for Lauderdale. Ryan Wiggins in his first game back for the Bombers kicks a much needed goal. It gets them back to within 3.
I think Clarence really got hurt on the overlap there. They all ran forward for the ball and then didn't have the guts to go back with it. You see them all stagnant here in the middle. And only Siggins at the back here was left by himself with a 2-on-1 situation. No good.
And when they look at the tape on Duff TV, boys, they'll notice Hayden Smith, a couple of really good efforts at centre half back. Clarence looked like they were going to get it out the back. Stanton was lurking, but he laid a big tackle, also put his body in and caused the spillage. In a way they went. That's probably their best ball movement for about 25 minutes now, Lauderdale.
Back in the middle. Ruck contest, one down, but it's all Lauderdale here through that man. Kicking the ball forward, the Bombers. Here's a chance now for McManus, who throws it on the boot, but Grace is down there. Gets taken out of the contest. No free kick, but yes, the umpire's gone back and said, actually, sorry, mate, I've let you down there. So Grace will take the free kick from half back.
The centre bounce clearance work, number 24, Nat Franklin, has been dynamic so far for Lauderdale. I reckon he's got 4 or 5 takeaways.
Yeah, he's done well.
So Clarence have the ball here on the wing at their home ground, Blundstone Arena. We know they haven't been here much in the pre-season, boys, which hasn't seemed to deter them. They knocked off the Tigers last week, of course, and now on top of Lauderdale this afternoon. The Bombers, the umpire's blowing the whistle here. It's coming back.
Yeah, it'll go to Anderton, who was an emergency today.
Yeah, he's a Mariner, boys, and has played already for Tasmanian under-18. And another boy that you called a little bit earlier, number 24 for Clarence, James Brenner, as well. A shout-out to some of the young boys that get an opportunity to come back and play club footy with under-18 Mariners footy a few weeks away.
I really like the way Anderton's gone about it, boys. He showed a bit in the helmet.
So Stanley switched the play and Lauderdale now. Yeah, they did. Lauderdale now out of defence. Here's Fife. We love Fife's work. Clarence, though, turn the ball over. Can they? Yeah, spills to ground. And the umpire, you'd think, would come and ball this up. He does. So the margin now is 16 points. 13 minutes gone in the second quarter.
So Lauderdale have got 2 that have sucked out of the stoppage here, which will be interesting.
Ball coming out towards the wing here. Clarence have the numbers.
Should be
Driven forward by Link.
There he is, loose man.
Yep, and it's marked by Stanley. Stanley across goal. Finds his teammate and kicks out wide longer now, McManus. Nothing really to kick to here though, so Boscott has to work hard, but he finds an option in Clever Camp. Clever Camp goes short again to Boscott, but Boscott gets chopped off nicely there by Wish Wilson at centre wing.
So Lauderdale love another goal here just to ease that margin back a little. Clarence certainly have turned the tide in this game. Pushes it forward now. Chance to run on now is that man we mentioned earlier in the game, Tubes, Lamses. If you saw the spelling, you probably wouldn't think it was Lamses.
No, you
What is it?
wouldn't.
Laumtziis. Yeah, so Lamses, I'm just going with you, Tubes. I'm trusting you, that's correct.
Last 5 minutes for Lauderdale have been pretty good.
Yeah.
They've just held back a little bit of the ascendancy with Clarence threatening to run away with this game. They're just winning a little bit more of the footy now.
Wade Wall in the ruck for the Roos. Brady Jones, yeah, you get the free kick here.
Threw his head back, so he did the actions to get the free kick at least.
Been a great player, Brady Jones,
Hasn't he?
over the years, boys, hasn't he? And, won a medal for best player on the ground for Tasmania in a state game going back a few years ago now.
Been good in other sports here at Blundstone Arena too, Cam Brady Jones. No doubt about that. Tasmanian Tigers wicketkeeper for so long as we see that ball go out of bounds on the full.
So from Mastrocola, the coming across from university in the old scholars.
Played really well last week too, that Mastrocola.
Dangerous kick.
Dangerous kick. He backed himself in, Blake Newell, didn't he?
Sutton goes the short option to Fife. Don't waste no time in playing on. McGuinness. He's back here from the Brisbane Lions, of course, in 2017. Clevercamp was good enough to hang on to it. He goes short. Some options here now for Lauderdale. Hill gets it. Oh, it's smothered off the boot. The kick wasn't a great one for Roberts. He gets it back though, Roberts. Gets the handball over the top. Wiggins a chance for a goal, and it's a beauty from Ryan Wiggins. So Lauderdale are pouring their way back. That's their 6. Clarence 8-3, 51. Lauderdale 6-5, 41. 10 points is the margin. 15-minute mark, second quarter.
That was just desperate stuff from the Bombers there, Brownie.
Yeah, just what the doctor ordered, wasn't it? And we just thought that maybe it was getting in a dangerous, precarious situation at one point for Lauderdale with, I think it was 4 or 5 unanswered Clarence goals, but this man Wiggins has got on the end of it. And he's a good finisher, and he can kick multiple goals. I think it was a game last year, he had 14 or 15 shots on goal.
Just want to single out Raymond Hill there. The kick that came in was smothered, and he kept going at the footy, and then Jordan Roberts as well got on the end of that handball. Just great desperate stuff from both those boys, resulting in the goal to Lauderdale. Back in the middle, Siggins back in the ruck, wins it down. That's been the move that I think's changed the game a little bit, perhaps, boys. The move of Siggins out of the ruck.
He's hardly lost it, has he? He's hardly lost a contest. Here's my boy Michael Fisher, as we mentioned pre-game, back into the TSL from the old scholars. Webberley dragged down. Hasn't blown the whistle.
You mentioned Michael Fisher, played a lot of footy at North Hobart. Really smart user and pretty composed around the footy and makes good decisions. Skillful player. We used to probably him playing mid-forward, but Clarence using him down back, and that's because a lot of your best decision makers and distributors these days play in those positions. So
Siggins absolutely dominating the ruck here. Callanan on the left. It bounces over the top and out of bounds. So
stays in.
Oh, stays in. It did look out to me too, but Lauderdale get the ball. Oh, and now Grace. Now the umpire's blown the whistle, and it's coming back.
So going to go to young Newell.
Okay.
Been pretty good the last one.
We just missed the replay there, but
so they bring the ball in. Fife drops what he should have taken, gets his handball back towards Hill. Fife again. Back to McGuinness. McGuinness cleverly goes across the face of goal. Oh, goodness me. Ed Stanley.
That was a shame because they were away Tubes on the outer side. Boscott had made some good space for the kick over the top. But unfortunately a bad fumble.
Wasn't great at all.
Happens sometimes, doesn't it? Ball brought in. Siggins at the ruck. Cleverly worked down.
Out of mid-air again. He's liking that today, Sam Siggins.
I remember Mickey Bowden did that, boys, in the 1986 grand final. His boys were dominant last week in that game that we called for Duff TV.
Now it is Bowden. I do want to make note of that for Aaron Cornelius out there, who's been chirping at me all week on Twitter. It is Bowden.
Shows he's watching though.
Yeah, he is. As the ball comes
They all
out.
go through the tape, don't they, now? And see what happens.
Heavy finds it Meager. Meager looking inboard. That's a dangerous kick, and it's a real letdown for Lauderdale as Jones goes bang with a roost, and he's kicked it out on the full. So a bit of a let off there for the Bombers.
He had Aiden Grace through. He had his hands in the air to say I was free.
Ed Stanley brings it back in against his former club too, former Clarence boy. Hill couldn't take the mark, and now it's all the Roos. Standing in game 150, goes around on the left. It looks like it's pushed away again to the right. So big opportunity there for Clarence. Missed Cam.
They're rolling the dice, Lauderdale, and really trying to open up the middle of the ground with some short passes. And that one was a little bit risky.
Stanley brings the ball in, big fly from the back, but it's punched away by Lauderdale. Nice little pick up there by Anderton. He's wrapped up in a tackle, and we'll see a ball up right on 50 for the Roos here.
Interesting the way teams set up these days. We talk about structures, boys, and the way that Clarence is setting up to obviously give themselves the best possible chance to win the territory battle and score.
See, the free kick going against Siggins here, and it's going to the ball.
You didn't like it?
He didn't like it. G's been
you
dominant.
You didn't like it, or?
I need to see it again.
Right.
Well, I don't know. I think he pushed him out of the ruck for sure, but I think he just gathered it. I don't know. Probably wasn't really there. As the kick comes across the face of goal, just stays inside. The Bombers then kick it out of bounds, and it just bounces in.
Has to be.
Has to be, surely.
Biggest deliberate you'll ever see.
Yeah, the umpire calls it too.
Comedy
look
of
how
errors.
Cox can nearly play on here, boys.
He doesn't. He slows it down. It was an absolute comedy of errors there. Grace is lurking on his own right in front.
He wants to try and shepherd. There it is.
Cox goes around on the left. He's going for goal number 5. It goes to the line, and
Smart play by Aiden Grace, wasn't it? Because
Yeah.
he knew Cox was a left footer, knew he can run and carry the footy, so he stood there with the man in the mark with the full intention of putting on a block so he could run inside 50 and have a shot.
Yeah,
Very
that
smart.
was deliberate there, as we've seen the replay. So it'll be Stanley to bring it out. Big long kick out to the 50 in towards Siggins. Siggins just works his way and nicely takes that grab.
dominant player on the ground for my boys. He is all over it, Sam Siggins, for the second straight week. He goes high inside 50. Webberley couldn't take the mark. Free kick being paid. It's going to the coach, Jeremy Webberley. So this will hurt. If Clarence can kick a goal here, 23-minute mark, it pushes the lead back out to 19. So tight angle here, though, for Jess. It's going to be tough for him.
I think he's going to run around.
He will.
The Stevie Johnson style.
So Jeremy Webberley, former Richmond AFL player, back here coaching Clarence in the TSL. It's right across the face of goal, out of bounds on the full. So be disappointed with that, Jez.
He will be. So
Yeah,
Lauderdale to bring it
a
back
handy
in.
goal against the flow.
would've.
It's been all Lauderdale for the last 10 or so minutes. So having said that, for the last 2 or 3 minutes,
It's been down in
Lauderdale
this.
have had trouble
Yeah, it's
breaking
been down here.
out of the Clarence forward 50. Is that a kick in the man of the mark? It was close.
Big long kick out wide, and that's a good mark taken. Plays on Holmes, and he's been dragged out of bounds. I don't think that poor old Wade Wall knew it was his mark.
You're right, Jibs. He didn't think it was a mark, so that's why he instinctively gave off the handball.
So boundary thrown right on forward 50 for the Roos again. Spent a lot of time, as you just alluded to, Brownie, in this forward 50 for the Roos. So repeat entries will be looked at here, I'm sure. If they can just break out here, the Bombers, though. Scrappy stuff here, 24 and a half minutes gone in this second term.
It's interesting when you look at these sides coming in, boys, to their seasons respectively. The Roos, 2 years in a row out of the finals, which is unfamiliar territory for them, and Lauderdale always been around the mark, 4th or 5th, but haven't been able to break into a grand final as yet under Darren Winter, but never too far away.
No.
He's a man that really needs to live for them, Bryce Walsh.
He's been very quiet today, Bryce Walsh. He goes across now, and the Bombers switch play to the opposite side of the ground from the commentary side here at Blundstone Arena. With 25 minutes gone, here's Stanley again, as we said before, against his former club Clarence. And now Callanan is there. We know how clever he can be. Very clever. He gets the handball back inside, but it's straight to Bryce Walsh. He's dragged down though, and the ball will go outside boundary throw in.
It might have been Reece Sutton, though, boys. Had an opportunity to hit Dylan Fife, who worked really hard for him to make position and space and the spread, but just overcooked the kick.
That's a lot of youth in that Lauderdale side there, Brownie, as the ball comes in the same spot as it was just moments before. Picked up by Siggins, dove on it there, did Smith. Big tackle, but the umpire will say, no, give it to me. I'll ball it up, thank you.
So you can just see Clarence have got a loose man back here. Looks like young Keegan Wiley, who's in the space between Wiggins and centre half forward.
They have done well, and now they've got a bit of space and a bit of time. They drive it forward inside the centre square. Fife is there lurking, gets the handball away to his teammate. Now here's a big chance for Lauderdale. They run inside 50. It is a good-looking kick. What a goal! So Lauderdale pegged one back right on the stroke of half-time, and the margin is cut down to just 8 points. So a big, big goal for Lauderdale.
Absolutely against the tide there, boys. That was brilliant work down in that forward pocket by the defenders for Lauderdale, as we see it coming here. And brilliant cross, and Fife worked really hard to get that space there. Got this cruel bounce, but worked beautifully. Handballed it off to Anderton, who ran past. Fisher chased hard, but a great finish by Anderton, and he kicks his first goal for Lauderdale.
Isn't that fantastic for them to get a goal right before half-time? That'll give them some real confidence heading into the second half. The umpire's bounce wasn't a great one. Walsh, and they've lifted here, Lauderdale. Imagine if they get another one here and the margins cut again. That would be something heading into a massive second half.
He's strong over the footy, isn't he, young Franklin? He's been really good for them.
Here they go again.
Oh, wow.
And here's a big chance now. Lauderdale pick it up. And, gee whiz. It was an okay kick from Hill, but just to the left, to the right. And minor score, so...
Check the stats, boys. Well, I think we might have had 7 goals this quarter, and it's been 4 in a row to Clarence, and then maybe 3 in a row to Lauderdale. Is that right?
It's hard to believe the margin is just 6 points. Clarence have been the dominant team so far this game, but Lauderdale hanging in there beautifully. And 6 points is the buffer, boys.
Lauderdale have looked dangerous when they've got a string of handballs, almost Western Bulldog-like, isn't it? Handball, 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 and then release. And all of a sudden they've been able to break inside 50.
Ball back in. Smith again in the ruck for Lauderdale. And it's held up by Heavey. Not blowing the whistle. He's gone.
Yeah, Brenner just held it in, didn't even try it.
Heavey will get the kick. Can he kick a goal from here, boys? We saw him kick one. This is about how far out it was, wasn't it?
It was about that far.
That was extraordinary, that goal.
Probably a little further, to be honest, Brenner.
Quarter time siren. Alex Heavey was outstanding.
He works hard, Alex Heavey. I remember watching him play footy the same time as Mitch Robertson, going back years ago as a junior. He's always had a great tank.
So,
that's
Clarence now, they've got numbers to the footy here. They scoop it up and collect, and now go inside 50. This will sting Lauderdale if Clarence managed to get one back here, but they've done well, the Bombers. Sutton gets it out. And now the run of Lamses.
Good kick.
Goes forward, great kick. Mark taken by Hill.
He's got to think his way through this.
Hill, the high ball, there's the half-time siren. So what a comeback here from Lauderdale. It is...
We've got the close one, boys.
We do, we've got the close one. We have Clarence 8-6-54, Lauderdale 7-6-48 in the Eastern Shore Derby, TSL round 3 for 2017.
Just go through the goal kickers. So for Clarence, we've got 4 for Jake Cox, 2 to Aidan Grace, singles to Trent Standen, and 1 to Matthew Ling. For Lauderdale, a few more goal kickers. They've got Ryan Wiggins with 2, then singles to Alex Heavey, Dylan Fife, Thor Boscott, Raymond Hill, and Mitchell Anderton.
Well, it's an interesting quarter. It was a great quarter of footy, and halfway through we were thinking, gee, Lauderdale in a bit of strife here, but to their credit, they kicked the last 3 goals of the second quarter, and just a goal in it. So it's at a really interesting stage, and both teams are really in this game, which is great, and great for the competition. So their respective coaches, they'll get in there with their line coaches and have an opportunity to regroup and assess where things are at. I'll look at all the key performance indicators that they have to highlight what they do well and where they need to improve, and they'll come back in the start of the third quarter, and we should have a real ripping game on our hands.
Who wins from here, Brownie?
Look, I think I'll go with Clarence on this one. Not by a lot, though. What about you, Brett?
Yeah, look, I think the Roos still, but you're right. Lauderdale fought their way back here beautifully. I reckon Clarence by 3 or 4 goals.
Chiefs?
I'm going against it, boys. I like the run of the young Lauderdale side, so I'm going to pick them by 4 points. So we'll take a quick break here. It is round 3 action, Southern Cross Tasmanian State League. It is Clarence up by 6 points. second half here from Blundstone Arena at Southern Cross Tasmanian State League, round 3 between Clarence and Lauderdale. Clarence are up by 6 points, and it is about to start the third term as we zoom in on the Clarence Chargers down there, Brownie. Great game of footy so far.
Yeah, really enjoyable game, Tubes. And look, just a goal in it at half time. And as we mentioned just before the end of half time, it was a game of 2 halves in the second quarter, because the first 15 minutes it was all Clarence and they looked like they were going to run away with it. But to Lauderdale's credit, they fought back really well and managed to kick 3 goals and reduce this margin to a goal. So nothing in it. Really important, I think, in the third quarter for both teams to get their hands on the footy early, try and put the opposition under pressure, get some clean ball, particularly out of the centre bounce clearances. We know how pivotal they are, and get it into the smart users, almost the team that's a little bit more composed, a little bit more sure with the footy in their hands will probably go on and win this game. Lauderdale at times in the second half of that quarter looked really dangerous, Brent, didn't they? The way they were able to run and carry the footy. Particularly by hand, and look really exciting on a few occasions. But Clarence, as we said a few times in the call, their best half a dozen players, if they can get their hands on the footy, they can really catch up very, very quickly.
Speaking of cutting up, how well has Sam Siggins gone in the ruck? He's bought his own footy today. He's the dominant player on the ground for mine. Has just been tearing it up.
No, great call, and he spent a couple of years in the AFL system and didn't quite make it at AFL level, but certainly in the SANFL played a lot of footy for Adelaide in that particular competition, and so he brings a lot of experience. But I haven't seen him play in the ruck, to be honest, a lot, boys. It's my following him has been more so at the centre half back in particular, and playing that kick behind the play. Even last year, I noticed he did that for the majority of the season, but it's a real fillip for them, for Clarence, to have him in the ruck, because it allows them to use Wade Wall in a different position. He'll start at centre half forward in the start of this third quarter, but he's so mobile and he kicks it so well, Tubes. A couple of times you've caught him as he's cleared the area, and once you get into the that full forward position, Jay Cox and these sort of players stand, and they're deadly when it hits the deck.
So it'll be that man Siggins up against his opponent there in Hayden Smith, set off for this second term, and away we go through Franklin, who's been so good, and he drills it down the throat of that man Wish Wilson, who will kick from about 55 out.
He's gone back a long
directly
way,
in front. Yeah, he's trying to do a Alex Heavey and latch onto a big torp.
Ben Brown has a long run up, doesn't he? Let's see if Wish Wilson's going to be a perfect start, wouldn't it, if he could kick this goal?
Magnificent approach there, right on 50 he's kicked from. He's timed it beautifully, and it's gone straight through the middle. That is Wish Wilson's first goal, and what a start for the Lauderdale Footy Club, Breno.
Huge, huge start. We said that, and to get that first goal, to tie it all back up, what a way to start the second half for the Bombers. Clarence will be really disappointed with that, Cam. Straight out of the middle.
Pretty easy game, Brent, when it's played like that, isn't it? You win it out of the centre, and once again, we've caught him a few times today, but love the work of Nat Franklin. And it's got to a stage where Clarence really have to lock down on him, because he's just been dominant with hand and foot out of the any of the centre bounces we've had in this game. He's been in the thick of it. And a great finish, and all of a sudden, boys, we're back to the even margin.
They've moved Smith into the ruck there, Breno.
They have indeed, but Siggins wins it on that occasion. All tied up here at Blundstone Arena in the first of the Eastern Shore derbies of 2017. Ball on the ground. The umpire eventually blows his whistle and says, "I'll have that one, boys."
Just trying to pick up Ian Callan here, boys. He's just sitting off the stoppage. I'm wondering if he's actually playing a kick behind the play, or even he's just on the defensive 50 as we speak, so maybe he might be playing cross half back this quarter.
Smith won the ruck contest on that occasion. Boscott gets the kick away. Jones off the ground as well. But now Lauderdale have numbers. Smith chasing hard, but pushed off the ball by the Roos. McManus gets the handball away. Here's Thor Boscott. Drives it forward. A little bit too high for his teammate, and unfortunately Hill couldn't collect it, and a boundary throw in. So all tied up, as we mentioned. Lauderdale with the first goal of this third quarter.
Reece Sutton again with the job on Ian Callan, who looks like he is going to half back, maybe to provide some run and carry.
It's like the bigger body of Smith in the ruck.
Yep, he's won that on that occasion as well, Smith. So a couple of good moments there for him in the ruck. The ball comes out, goes to the wing.
Great
well
work.
controlled, well controlled there by the Roos. And Good tackle by McManus. And underneath the
hard
football
hit.
was Chambers.
Yeah, he copped a hard hit, Chambers. It might
Yeah.
take a while to get up from this. A sandwich, wasn't he, between Robbie McManus there and
It was Joshy McGuinness. So the umpire throws it up. Smith again wins the football, but straight out of bounds, boundary throw-in.
So a boundary throw-in will ensue right in front of the commentary position here at centre wing. 3 minutes gone in this third term. Scores are level. Smith and the boys go up in the ruck. Little tackle there. It's scrappy stuff here, and the umpire's going to ball it up.
So 54 points apiece. We could not have asked for a better game so far.
Closest game this year in the TSL, I would have thought, boys.
Yeah, no, it's a ripper. Of course, we had 3 games yesterday on Good Friday. We saw the Tigers winners, Burnie and North Launceston. So this completes round 3 as Clarence go inside 50 for the first time this quarter. Here's Trent Stanton in his 150th game. Kicks it beautifully, bounces along the ground and a goal. So Trent Stanton with Clarence's first in this third quarter, and they kick away to a 1-goal lead.
Well, we mentioned it, didn't we, before, boys, just how dangerous once the ball hits the ground. And it was a bit of a hack kick from Matthew Ling. He just got it forward for Clarence inside 50, and up they went in the contest here. Cox provided the target, but the disappointing thing there was for Lauderdale was Blake Newell. He went to ground, Brent, which is a cardinal sin. And when you give a bit of time and space to Trent Stanton, he's not going to miss. And Clarence get the handy brake tubes.
They do. Back in the middle now. Siggins and Smith back in the ruck. Clarence up by the single goal. Umpire will call it straight back there. And boundary umpire's called a free kick for infringement on the square. So it'll go the way of Lauderdale and Smith. Sometimes that chaos ball into the forward 50 is all you really need, boys, to get the ball moving and get a goal there. So Smith will take it. He handballs off quickly to his running bomber. They drive it in forward. Good lead out to Wish Wilson, who's going all right down in that forward line.
It's a nice kick from McGuinness.
Lauderdale go inside 50. The mark couldn't be taken. And Wiggins! Wiggins in traffic. Kicks a beautiful goal, Ryan Wiggins. So that would be, his third trip
that
of the
is
game.
His third goal.
Great comeback effort here from Ryan Wiggins in his first game back for Lauderdale. As I said, in heavy traffic there, managed to get boot on ball and kicks the goal to tie up the scores again. So we have got a wonderful battle going on here between the two Eastern Shore rivals, Clarence and Lauderdale. 60 points apiece, 5 minutes gone in the third quarter.
As a defender there, Breno, what can you do when the ball bounces like that straight into the lap of Ryan Wiggins for his third goal? Can't do much there.
It's a new forward line for Lauderdale in many respects. We're so used to seeing Michael Cassidy down there, and also Nick Dodge in that crumbing role. So a little bit more responsibility for Wiggins, but he's been terrific today and got a lot of his goals at ground level.
Ball comes forward for Lauderdale through Fife, who drives it forward in towards Wiggins. Great defensive work down there by Bailey, but it's coming straight back. Wiggins over the top. Here's a chance for him. Gets a little push in the back from Bailey, but nothing doing as the ball rolls out of bounds in front of Anderton.
Bailey with a bit of head wear on there, Brownie. Got the knock earlier in the game. So,
but a great player for Clarence for a long period of time
now. He has indeed.
His hands full today, though, with Wiggins.
He certainly made his mark on this game now. Ryan Wiggins, 3 goals. Important player for Lauderdale, as we said earlier. Big bump there by Boscott. Ball tied up. Walsh is in there, who, as we said earlier, has had a fairly quiet game by his standards, Bryce Walsh.
Interesting now, boys, isn't it? When you get a forward stoppage and you look at what Lauderdale are doing, and we can see it from our vantage point, all 18 players inside the centre, which makes it very difficult for Clarence.
Here's Boscott under pressure. Fife the same. But Lauderdale out of trouble, but no, it's handballed straight to Clarence. They've got plenty of time and space now. They push it forward. Jake Cox is on the run. We know how dangerous he can be. Jake Cox collects the football, storms into goal, kicks on the left, and drills the goal for Clarence. So Jake Cox kicks his 5th, and Clarence move out to a 6-point lead, 7-minute mark of the third quarter.
Well, we mentioned in the call that the way footy's played these days and your defensive structures, and teams really want to lock it in when it's inside their forward 50. So all 18 players at Lauderdale were inside the centre half for them. But it was, again, it was just a kick that went forward. And when you've got players with the leg speed of Cox and Standard, they're very, very dangerous. Not too many players would have been able to do what Jake Cox did just then.
5 goals now, 2 boys. He is tearing the game apart.
He's been a great player, hasn't he, at this level for a long period of time. Now he's played for the state and been a good performer at that level as well.
Just a turnover at half back there for Clarence that resulted in a goal there. Lauderdale will be upset with that. Smith and Siggins in the ruck. Comes out to Fife. Fife handballs over the top to his teammate there in McManus, who goes back inboard trying to find Roberts. Roberts can't gather the footy, so Smith goes in with his head and he'll get a free kick too. Great work by Smith. Handballs off quickly. Here come the Bombers. They drive it long. Coming out to meet the footy is the young man who gets a push in the back there. And it'll be Raymond Hill from 50. Nothing really to kick to. So he handballs off quickly.
Back to Hill.
Hill's got it again. Handballs to a man who's in trouble, but he does well to shrug the tackle as Roberts quickly puts it onto the boot, but punched away by Holmes. And it will be another boundary throw-in.
Just back on Jake Cox, Brownie. How much interest was there around him at his draftable age?
Yeah, look, he was certainly talked about, and that run and carry and that leg speed. I think he's improved his kick, Brent. Going back a few years ago, that might have been something that might have been a potential knock on him. It could have been perceived as a little erratic, but he actually played as an overager too at Mariner level, so they're allowed 3 or 4 players that can play as, and I guess the obvious one that comes to mind is Mitch Robertson, as someone that was overage and got drafted out of that particular situation. I think Toby Nankervis.
I was about to say Nankervis, yeah. So the ball back in. Boscott thumps it away. Clarence under immediate pressure as they collect the ball. They've done well to get out of it. Weberly. He gets the ball over the line. Another boundary throw.
Certainly mature. He's the top 10, 15 players in the competition, no doubt about that. Always
top 5
high
for
in the
me.
media awards.
Yeah.
And become a real goal kicker now, hasn't he? So dangerous.
So dangerous.
50. He can get up and mark it though as well.
Boundary throw in there. Just collected a little bit high was Fife, and they're asking the question to the umpire, and the umpire says no prior opportunity. I'll ball it up, thanks.
Difficult game for Ian Callan to sort of work his way into, and so too Bryce Hall. So opposition coaches would be pretty happy with the defensive efforts of both respective players playing on those 2 stars.
Here's Brady Jones. Paul Boscott in the ruck for Lauderdale, won that too. So here they are again, Lauderdale. Get the handball away. And now Clarence with time. They go forward along the boundary here at Blundstone Arena. Michael Fisher takes the mark and will go back and take his kick.
He wants to go on board.
He does just that. And Clarence now. Chambers got it away.
Never panics, does he, Weberly?
He doesn't. Jones delivers it and has a man by himself.
He's got Standard, just a bit slow to move. He's going to get him though.
Ball goes inside 50. Standard couldn't quite hang on to the mark. Wade Wall sees it over the boundary line. Boundary throw in.
Great contest down there by the Lauderdale defender, boys. Just to not infringe. Probably did infringe though, to be honest. You can't really run into a bloke front on like that, but anyway.
6 points the margin. Clarence hold the advantage. Smith in the ruck, taps it down. Dangerous territory here for the Bombers. Oh, he might have been taken high there. The umpire has not paid it, or he has paid it? No. Got a ball up.
Free kick going the way.
Oh, the other way. It's gone the other way.
It's only I can think of. Hang on. There's some deliberations here.
There is, yeah. I thought it was a free kick to Clarence, boys. That was my initial thought.
Well, I thought you called it well, Brent. No, I just thought it must have been a fair enough. Yeah, they called the wrong way.
Here's the replay.
He was taken high. So here it is there. And Clarence will get the free kick. So
they're going to ball it up, surely.
Mass confusion here.
Well, if the umpires haven't got control.
Boys.
Call this one, Tubes.
Yeah, I'll tell you, in my opinion, they've got to ball it up here. If the umpires can't control it, just ball it up, make it a 50-50 ball. Instead of giving it against Lauderdale here.
They have.
The free kick was there, but the bloke from the umpire from the centre of the ground has called a free kick, and then I don't know what's going on. There's no real control.
Jared Harper with a kick, but
yep.
So that was Really confusing, boys. Really confusing. Here we go. So Clarence line up for goal through Jared Harper after a lot of confusion from the umpires. He loads up on the right, and he does like it. It's Clarence's 11th goal, and they lead this one now by 12 points midway through this third quarter of the Eastern Shore Derby, the Speak Up, Stay Chatty Cup.
Yeah, that one hurts Lauderdale a little bit. Nice kicking technique coming here from young Harper. Ran him very straight.
Just heard from Duff there that Duff saw this young fella, Harper, kick 7 straight in an under-16s grand final for the STJFL. So he can kick, the kid. So well done, Jared Harper. Beautiful. Stat man.
Good stat.
12-point margin. So another one would really sting Lauderdale after they came out and scored that first goal here in the third quarter. The ball slammed into the middle here at Blundstone Arena. Siggins in the ruck for Clarence. Umpire blows the whistle.
Free kicks or throw.
Yeah, throw. So well called, Brownie.
Nat Franklin again.
He's been really good.
He has. He has indeed, Nat Franklin. We heard a lot about him from Cam earlier. He switches play and goes to McGuinness. Josh McGuinness has under a bit of pressure here. He managed to get the kick away nicely though, and the mark taken by Meager. Was given 50 here, so Lauderdale, this will bring them within range, you would think, or just beyond range. So a little advantage for them, and Meager will have the ball. So
young ruckman. Nothing, no real movement down there yet.
Alex Evie's on for the short one here, but no.
Looks like he'll go back and have a shot here, boys. So
lurking around. He's gone back like he thinks he can make the distance here, Tubes.
Liam Meager lining up for Lauderdale. It looks okay off the boot. Will it have the carry? It goes right to the line. It doesn't, but picked up out of nowhere from Wiggins.
No.
And no.
Rolling ball out the back and quickly off the boot. Wow.
Wow.
Robbie McManus. That is just an opportunistic goal from McManus. Unbelievable stuff. Great contest down there in the forward line by Boscott to get high and bring the ball to the ground. And then around the corner, Wiggins. But we'll watch it again. This is great footy.
So yeah, that was the kick from Looked like it just fell short. Wiggins in the air. Couldn't register a score. And then out the back, McManus, bang.
Wow.
And we've got game on here, boys. This is a cracker.
Absolutely.
He's a smart player, Robbie McGuinness. He can often bob up and kick your goal and get in opportunistic positions to score. And that was a badly needed one there. Former John Paul II student going back at down at Rugby, boys.
That's the voice of Cam Brown.
There he is again.
He's all over anything TSL. Clarence now through Webberley.
Got so much time here.
He does. Time and space, Webberley. He drills it forward. Straight, though, to the opposition player, and Phil Bell Chambers.
Kick, pretty well.
Comes inboard to Clevercamp at half-back for the Bombers. Chips it in nicely. Good mark taken at centre half-back. Now the Bombers move it forward. Out towards Wish Wilson. Can't take the grab. Great contest there. Hard over the footy. I think that'll be a free kick going the way of... Yep, it is. Homer.
Wish Wilson just needed to lead up with a little bit more intensity there.
So now Clarence through Chambers. He goes inside 50. Here's Cox again. On the left. Goes to the goal square. And Ian Callanan takes the mark. It's going to be a really tight kick. You'd think he'd swing around here, Cam, and have a shot. He does just that. Ian Callanan. And bang, so he's fantastic. Ian Callanan takes the mark right on the goal line, swings around and gets Clarence's 11th or 12th goal of the game. They move to 78 points. And Lauderdale.
Away, Brent. I've seen him do it so many times.
He's been doing that since he was about 4.
And we know he's won a medal at VFL level, the Liston Trophy winner, but one of the more decorated local footballers in the last 15 years. And you can't help but feel he was cheated out of, 80 or 90 AFL games, I think. You're going back and maybe it was his size and the fact that at AFL level they thought he probably couldn't play anywhere else other than a small forward, and that was probably Achilles' heel for some people at that stage. But you look now at AFL footy, boys, and everyone wants a small forward. So if Ian Callum was coming through now, it'd be a certainty to be drafted.
That's all it was, wasn't it, Brandy? Just that time of the draft, they were looking for big athletes, and poor old Ian Callanan missed out. But an absolute jet of the game and a jet in Tasmanian football all the same. So Back here, it is Clarence up by 12 points, 2 straight goals. It is Clarence 12-6-78 to Lauderdale 10-6-66. TSL action from Blundstone Arena.
Almost at time on. Here's Fisher. Handballs. Cox is there as well. He gets a handball away. And Holmer. Walsh, who, as we said earlier, haven't called his name a lot today as we normally would. McGuinness.
He's been good.
He has in defence Josh McGuinness.
Good smart.
Kick intercepted though. McGuinness gets it back. Cox. He's got time. Look at this. Tries to fend off the tackle, but will get pinged for holding the ball. Great tackle from Josh McGuinness.
Well, he owed him one, didn't he? Because the handball missed the mark there, and then he realised I've got to pay the boys back here. So the Bombers will move it in through Fife. Boscott has it here. He's got no one on him.
We'll play on.
Should have. Didn't. And Boscott will kick from 10 metres out directly in front.
You called it, Tubes. What a brilliant tackle, because Cox was away. And once he's got that sort of latitude and space in front of him, he can normally put the afterburners on, and good luck trying to catch him. But it was a desperate tackle from McGuinness. Just what they needed this particular point in time. We saw the turnover and a neat kick from Fife, and now Boscott should not miss from the top of the goal square, boys, and we'll bring it back to a goal the difference.
You think it's a certain goal from Thor Boscott, it is. So this one's back to within 6 points. It is a cracker here at Blundstone Arena, Saturday afternoon TSL football.
I reckon he was a John Paul II too, and Josh McGuinness. It was about 3. It's a football factory down there.
I know, come on.
I know, we had to slip that in, but it's not bad from the Catholic primary school down there. I reckon that the 3 of those boys have come from that particular school. But look, what a great game we've got. 20 minutes in the third quarter, Tubes, and just a goal the difference. And these 2 games, it probably hasn't reached the physicality heights. We thought there might have been a little bit of...
Started out that way, didn't it?
Judging by the way that Windy was talking at quarter time there, boys, I thought he was very, very calm. Anyway, back in the middle. They've put your man Cox into the middle, but Fife runs off his feet. Beautiful work out to Bell Chambers. Handballs into the middle. What a string. Here we go again for Bell Chambers. That's a great kick, but it's just overcooked. And Weberly read it well, and he will defend for the Roos.
Great to see Jeremy Weberly back playing footy in 2017. Had most of 2016 out of the competition. Here's Aidan Grace, who was busy in the first half. He gets it inside 50. Good mark taken on the chest of Murphy Cohen. He goes on quickly towards goal. Great mark taken by Blackburn and Michael Blackburn.
That was set up, wasn't it, Weberly? Unfortunately, Bell Chambers read it really well off half back, and it's probably his kicking that at times can unfortunately let him down, and it was a turnover, and Weberly speared a pass into Grace, and all of a sudden to Murphy Cohen, who had the presence of mind to turn around quickly, and a goal scored there to the Roos. So they just seem to have the answers at this particular point in time.
Goals don't get much easier than the one Michael Blackburn just kicked to make this one, again, a 2-goal margin. So we could not ask for a better match in this round 3 TSL clash just after time on. So
brilliant vantage point for us today, Chubs, isn't it? We couldn't get a better position to watch the footy than we've got today.
No, it's magnificent up here in the new Ricky Ponting stand. It, as Breno just said, it is a 12-point differential in the form of a Clarence lead, and Smith wins the ruck contest down. Clever touch over the top by Callanan. Leading the race out there is, of course, Ling, but it comes back to Smith. Smith gets his handball away, and your man there, the strong man in Nat Franklin, gets his kick. Just overcooked it, but he just caught one in the eyeballs there, McManus. He's down and hurt. Just
Actually,
a little...
I didn't think there was much in it, but...
Here's the replay, boys.
It
wasn't much in it at all.
The face.
Poke in the eye, I reckon, boys.
Brady Jones. Now, this is the money ball kick, boys.
In it goes, inside 50.
Wiggins,
it's a free kick. It looks like there will be a free kick paid, and Wiggins will get it. Don't give it away.
Brent, you're right.
Yeah, so Wiggins will go back and try and kick for his 4th goal. It's been an impressive comeback game for him for the Lauderdale Football Club.
Love the strength in that contest there by Wiggins, just to hold his position and protect the drop zone of the ball there. Beautiful work by this man. Has he got it in him, Brandon?
Yeah, no, he definitely make the distance, Tubes. He's a penetrating kick of the footy when he gets everything right, so I hope he doesn't make a liar of me.
We're right behind this one from the commentary box. Ryan Wiggins lining up for his 4th of the game. He shanks it, it goes left and it goes away. Siggins couldn't take the mark, falls off his chest. Does well to get out of danger. Fife at the back there. And still in the hands of Lauderdale. So here they go again. Inside 50. Right to the boundary line. A good mark taken by Sutton.
Big stretch there for Sutton. He's got a tough angle here.
Won't be an easy kick. You wonder if it's worth him taking a little bit off the kick and just
popping it
sitting at the top of the square, but he looks like he's going to go back and have a shot at him, Tubes, as he runs around a little bit.
Sutton's kick looks okay, but a ray to the right, a minus score. So 11 points now. It seemed to be either 6 points, 12 points, boys.
Handy point.
A terrific game of footy, 24-goal score. And you would think both teams are going to reach 100 points the way things are going, which is a rarity in modern footy these days as Webberley plays on.
Good crowd in for this blockbuster as well. The hill,
big fly from Smith. Mastrocola now has it, and he's just so quick around those packs. Handballs out towards Chambers. He kicks it long, but Wish Wilson's down there. He's got that man there standing to beat.
Oh, good tackle.
Great
standing.
Yep.
Now, Murphy Cohen is out the back with 50 metres in space, but they won't get it to him. They're a little bit better set up that particular time. You mentioned Wish Wilson, and they had numbers back, so they weren't beaten on the ball over the back there, Lauderdale. So just a little bit better set up from them defensively.
Sutton, who had that shot on goal moments ago, Fife, and now Lauderdale with some run through the midfield here. Picked up by Boscott, turns around. Oh, the kick straight into the Clarence player. Might have been Michael Fisher. Bit of a falcon. Fisher's still there though.
Great tackle.
Oh, now we could see some biff here, boys.
Yep.
They don't often reverse it these days, do they? You can really go back and put in a little bit of physical pressure as long as you don't overdo it.
That was a great tackle by Roberts, who kicked it out wide to Fife. Fife has a running man further up the field in Sutton, who takes the grab. Mid numbers in the middle. Yeah, he's been really good as the ball comes into your man Franklin. Franklin right in the centre of the ground here at Blundstone Arena. Has a leading Wiggins, who again protects the drop zone, but it's just flicked him too far.
Another falcon.
Yep, right in the eyeballs as Jones kicks it out wide towards Cox. Cox goes backwards, and it is Callanan who's penetrating kick into the path of Cox. He just needs to get his kick though, but it's Clarence again driving the ball forward towards Wall. Slippery stuff out here, Breno.
It is in the shade, Tubes. A few players falling. So it's Clarence still leading this one by 11 points as we approach three-quarter time. So we're set for a pulsating final quarter here. It is a cracker on the TSL live stream this afternoon.
We've obviously done a lot of work, Clarence, in the off-season with life after Mitch Williamson. We're so used to seeing
player taken high there.
As Clarence going long with the footy and having.
Oh, here we go, boys. Here we go. This is the biff we've been speaking about that could occur, and Clevercamp's still down on the ground, so a few players punching on here now. Gabby Chambers in there for the Roos, and start to break up now. Smith and Chambers look like they're going toe-to-toe.
Clevercamp with the kick.
Yep, Clevercamp has it at the back pocket.
Stingray.
Kicks out wide, finds Fife. Fife running quickly, beautiful kick long, but it's probably going to go out of bounds as it does. And we'll see a boundary thrown right at centre wing on the big scoreboard side. There it was. That was rough. That was rough from Wall.
He does go in pretty hard, Wade Wall, the former North Hobart player. Time on now, Brent, isn't it? It's a critical stage of this game.
It is. Yeah, no team want to give away.
Cough one up.
That's exactly
the point in time.
No, you're spot on, Cam. As we see another whistle blown.
It's another recall for the boundary throw, and we've seen 3 of those today, boys.
Yeah, not ideal for the umpires. The men in the fluoro green as it comes back in.
It's better.
Siggins and Franklin in the ruck. Franklin controls the footy, but not to his advantage. And now Clarence are away. Here's Michael Fisher. He's on 50, fumbles the footy, manages to get it back though. Clarence drive it in. They'd hate to give one up here, Lauderdale. Dangerous time and the mark taken. And I think it's Murphy Cohen who will have the kick.
He's been a goal kicker at development league level, Murphy Cohen, and played some senior footy last year for the Roos, but he's a player they'll be hoping that comes through this season and play some regular footy for them and can kick some goals.
Luke Murphy Cohen. This would be a dagger through the heart of Lauderdale as we approach three-quarter time. He loads up on his right foot, and it's a minus score. So a little let off there for the Bombers.
Back to 12 points. Bombers to bring it back in from full back. Long kick out wide in towards Wish Wilson's direction. Just a little gentle touch off the boot, and that's good work by our man Heavey, who kicked a ripping goal. Wish Wilson sells some candy, then has a running man, and here we go again. It is Anderton just popping it up nicely, going back with the flight. There was Lamses, can't quite get a hold of it. Has Mastrocola, handballs over the top nicely to Siggins. Siggins will clear for the Roos, and a nice mark taken there by that man in Brenner.
Brenner goes the short option to Michael Fisher, who's lifted here in the last couple of minutes. We've seen a lot of him around the footy. Callanan right on the wing. He knows this ground so well.
What a kick.
Gets the option. He hits him right on the chest. So, again, dangerous little period here for Lauderdale as Clarence drive it forward, but the kick is out of bounds and a boundary throw-in.
It's interesting, the last bit of play, boys, when Lauderdale, from the kick-out, ran it through with a chain of handballs, got it inside 50, but both players couldn't keep their feet inside the forward 50 for Clarence and Lauderdale. And all of a sudden, we've got it up at a stoppage inside forward 50 for the Roos now, an opportunity to score, Tubes.
Absolutely, boundary throw-in right in the forward pocket for the Roos. Smith wins it down, but coming through was Weberly, and it'll be cleared now by, hang on, we've got a free kick going the way, yeah.
Clarence. I reckon it's going to go to Chambers.
Yeah, it is.
No, not Chambers.
Yeah, Chambers, I think it is.
Or Harper.
Or is it Harper? I think
Oh, yeah, it might be Harper.
So two free kicks.
Yeah, right. Well done. Well called there, Brownie.
Well, this is a dangerous period now for Lauderdale. We are very close to three-quarter time, 29-minute mark of the third quarter. And if Harper slots this for the Roos, it's out to a pretty big margin of 18 points. So this will really sting Lauderdale as we head into the final change.
We know he's a nice kick. We saw that earlier in this quarter.
So Harper looking to go for Clarence. Looks pretty good off the boot. And Harper goals. So Clarence move out to an 18-point lead. And that really hurts Lauderdale as we head into the final change of this Saturday afternoon TSL Round 3 clash at Blundstone Arena.
They hurt you a little bit, don't they? Those free kicks inside your forward 50. It's just not the ones you want to give away and give the opposition a chance to set up and have a set shot for goal. And to their credit, we've mentioned Jared Harper, who's a nice set shot for goal. And he's kicked a couple of important goals in this third quarter to get it out to an 18-point lead. And wouldn't be a lot of time left, I wouldn't have thought, in the rest of this quarter, Tubes.
No, these junk time goals can really hurt the opposition, can't they, boys? So back in the middle here, it'll be Wall up against the younger man in Meager. Big punch away there nicely there by Chalmers. Comes out the back and the Roos are away again. Here's a chance now for O'Brien. Missed the ball, so he left it in for Murphy Cohen, who's just thrown it away, and we'll see a boundary thrown right at half forward.
Number 36 there for Clarence boys, Justin O'Brien. Coached Doser a couple of years ago. Hasn't had a lot of opportunity today. Haven't called his name much, but...
good coach too, Cam.
Yeah,
took Doser to a number of grand finals.
I think a premiership coach.
Yeah. So here's Lauderdale again. I'd love to peg one back here as we approach the final three-quarter time break. Sells a bit of candy there.
Oh, no, it wasn't sold, it was gobbled up.
It was actually good call, Tubes. Out of bounds, boundary throw-in. Far side of the ground here, and a little bit of push and shove. Reece Sutton amongst it for the Bombers.
Lauderdale would really love a goal here just to stay in touch going into three-quarter time, boys. This is the premiership quarter, as we know, and Clarence have been all over it.
Yeah, long quarter this one. 31, almost 32 minutes gone. Here's Fife. He drives it long. 1 on 2 here, 2 on 1.
This guy will go.
Here we go. Big kick for Lauderdale. And it's off to the left. So nice piece of play from Anderton, but unfortunately he has. Yeah, he has. Flashy player.
Young Keegan Wiley did the right thing. Came up as the third man up, and a really good defensive punch, which was read beautifully by Anderton. And gee, as Tube said, they would have loved to go. They might have run out of time here, and we might end up going with a 17-point lead at three-quarter time, you'd think, as we tick over 32 minutes.
Nice little segue there. Third man up, Cam. You can catch the podcast.
Well, I believe, too.
Going ratings blockbuster. Number of hits during the week. I think we're up to 4 or 5. So really dragging the listeners.
You'll get to double digits eventually,
No,
Breno.
I'm just kidding. We've gone through the roof, the ratings. It's been audible chocolate.
Well, to sign a big name like Chris Robon, you must be paying big dollars out there.
So you're talking about there.
Come on, Breno. You know who I'm talking about as we see a boundary throw in right on half forward. Yeah, Damien Gill's involved.
So the ball back in, must be seconds away from the three-quarter time siren. Oh, Grace taken high, the umpire let it go. And lets it, still hasn't blown the whistle here, the umpire. Does now, and we'll have a ball up.
It's interesting with
mark.
the Mariners, Tube, some of the boys been a bit of horses for courses. So Zach Bushner, who played pretty well last week at under-18 level and kicked 3 goals, normally plays for the Clarence Footy Club, but he's not playing today. So we saw a number of players from the Tigers rested yesterday, but some of the boys are out here, so I guess it's up to the conditioning staff to decide on who plays.
Here's a chance for Clarence again. This will really, really put Lauderdale into the pump if Clarence can get one more here. Grace was taken high, and he'll get a free kick, so dear oh dear.
You get to see this, you'll get to call it, Tubes.
Yeah,
this stuttering run-up. Now, what if he goes off the line? Is that going to be...
I'll start with I didn't like that free kick.
Okay.
I didn't go much on that free kick. And look at him. I think what he likes, we've seen the free kick here.
He's got all the time he can...
Yeah, just take your time here.
No, it's part of his routine.
It
and
is.
it worked for him last time, so let's not
he's
let's not bag it out because Stanley, that free kick was against.
Yep.
So this is a big moment in terms of the game, boys.
Yep.
What are we? It's huge.
Side-on action about to come here,
Get
boys.
side and turn your partner around. Here we go. It is the square dance here at Blundstone Arena as Gracie, the little 2 steps, and he goes bang. He's a beautiful kick of the footy, but he hasn't made the journey here and no score. So it is 14-7-91 Clarence. Lauderdale 11-8-74. 16 points the difference?
17.
Sorry,
when I went to
boys,
school,
my bad.
Tubes.
Yeah, well, I didn't go to the football factory down there at, what is it, Pope John Paul II.
Catholic school in Rugby.
We'll quickly go through the goal kickers here for Clarence. We got Jake Cox with 5. Then we got 2 to Aiden Grace, the sewing machine there. Trent Standen has 2. And then singles to Callanan, Blackburn and Matthew Ling. And for Lauderdale, it is 3 goals to Ryan Wiggins, 2 to Thor Boscott, then singles to Alex Heavey, Dylan Fife, Raymond Hill, Ethan Wish-Wilson and Mitchell Anderson. Three-quarter time, what do you say here, boys?
Well, look, a really handy lead, you'd think, for the Roos. And look, we hope for the game's sake that Lauderdale can hit back hard in the last quarter, but it's shaping up that the Roos should probably win this one by about 4 or 5 goals, and just seem to have the steadying influences in that third quarter. And we saw Cox a couple of times run into the open goal over the back. Callum with a smart snap stand, and so all the stars, they got their hands on the footy and they're dangerous. So Lauderdale with it all to do here, but they will run and carry. They will take risks if they're going to win this game. They've got to go through the corridor. We've seen at times some of their footy has been good enough, but they'll have to be clean inside 50 and they'll have to convert and win some footy in the contested situation and be able to break from the stoppage. So a really interesting point of the game here, Brent.
17-point lead to Clarence as we head to the final change. We'll take a short break and be back with a very, very exciting final quarter here on the AFL Tasmania TSL live stream.
Summertime here at Blundstone Arena as we see the #1 ticket holder for the Clarence Football Club down there, Brenner.
That is extraordinary. That is an extraordinary kit, and full credit to that gentleman.
Just trying to tell you, we're a long way away, but it does look like Blair Brownless, doesn't it?
Well, so it is a 17-point difference here at Blundstone Arena. Clarence in charge. What would you have said to your Chargers there at three-quarter time if you were Darren Winter, Brownie?
I think they've just really got to take the game on. They almost got to risk it to win it, as they say, and plenty of they've got to get the forward line, got to get the ball in the forward line quickly. And as we see, Boscott looks like he's going to start at full forward. Wiggins alongside him, Wish Wilson at centre half forward, and Sutton going down there as well. But they do need a lift on out of Bryce Walsh. If Heavey and McManus can get their hands on the footy, Fife love the work of Franklin. So, but they've just got to get some clean ball inside 50 and plenty of run and willing to take the game on. I think if you're Lauderdale and Clarence, well, we know if they can get in there fast and quick, their sneaky small forwards has just been too dangerous, or mid forwards in particular. And as we know, Cox starting at full forward and standing alongside him.
Spoke to Jeremy Weberley, the coach of Clarence, during the week at the press conference, said this is an 8-point game for his team. This will give him an 8-point.
So you get 8 points?
No.
Right.
No, you don't. This will give
I'm
them
just wondering when that will actually happen, because I hear it said a lot.
8-point advantage over the rivals Lauderdale. As we're underway here in the final term, big final term, Siggins, who's been so important for the Roos this afternoon. Chambers kicks it high. Mark couldn't be taken. Grace gets the handball away, tapped down by Wade Wall. Here's Brady Jones. He loads up right on 50, goes towards the square. Jake Cox is there, can't take the mark. Ball out of bounds in front of the 150 gamer in Trent Standard.
Looks dangerous, Cox, doesn't he? And he can judge the flight of the ball. And he's really improved his overhead marking, boys. That's what one aspect of his game that makes him dangerous.
So the ball back in here, right in front of Clarence's goals. Cox, speaking of dangerous, picks up the footy and goals. And Jake Cox kicks his 6. What a day out he's having for Clarence. And they move further ahead in this game.
I think it was Max Clevercamp on him down there, Brownie, who was just, you can't let him have that much room. That's unbelievable from Cox. He's kicked half a dozen.
Great call, Tubes. And look, particularly when you can swing on your left foot. It reminded me of Clay Smith in the preliminary final with the Bulldogs over GWS, where he got a few of those goals, and it was a beautiful tap. And he just ran around on his left foot, and there's some frustration there for Clevercamp. We can see it off the screen now as he shoves into Cox, but Cox has had the last laugh, and just what Lauderdale didn't want, a soft goal, as you called it, Tubes, just out of the stoppage, and a great snap. What's that, 6 for him?
Yeah, 6-pack for him. So back in the middle here, Smith, straight down the throat of Siggins, who left it behind for Weberley. He gets it off to that man in Harper, and a little Falcon there, trying to spin out of trouble there was Heavey, and it will be a ball up at centre wing. I think that, just going back to that goal, boys, there was just, the ruckmen were so far back, and we've seen those boundary throw-ins being thrown in, 6-7 metres short. There was just too much space there for Clarence to run into, as we see McGuinness running the ball around the corner, almost a mark there to Holmes. He just ducks the head and lets it go, pushes it out nicely into the path of his teammate there in Brady Jones, gets the back to Weberley. Weberley's just so quick and talented. Beautiful work by him, and he'll kick it forward to Grace.
Grace couldn't hang on to the mark, but still manages to get the football taken high. Umpire has paid the free kick, so Grace will go back.
And got some space here too, boys.
They do.
Grace can get a hold of it. Callan now lurking inside 50, and he's going to go to him, I reckon.
Aiden Grace goes inside 50. The umpire's blown the whistle though. And
it's a 50
metre penalty.
Well,
it is. So
it's all falling apart here for Lauderdale.
Approaching on the mark, was it?
I think it is. So Aiden Grace will come in and kick from not too far out. And it would be, you would think, a certain goal for Clarence, which makes this a very, very handy lead.
Just really quickly, boys, is he going to do his full-blown do-si-do here? And he's directly in front, 10 metres out.
I hope he does.
I've got your...
Exactly.
I understand you've got to have your routine.
He's got to do it.
Let's have a look, boys. 1, 2, 3. When's he turn?
Spin the partner around about now.
Here he goes.
There it is.
My goodness, there it is.
Not as many side steps there, though.
Hayden Grace puts Clarence well ahead in this game now. The sting is out of it a little bit.
One player that has really worked his way into the game is the coach.
Yeah.
Jeremy Weberley. I noticed particularly in the last 30 or 40 minutes of this game, he's been able to get his hands on the footy. Coming back from a knee operation, wasn't it? So it's never easy coming back from an injury like that. But it looks like he's getting some continuity in his footy and really enjoying it. A different role for him, isn't it? Being a playing coach this year when predominantly last year he was obviously playing but out of the game. But look, it's going to make it hard now, boys. 5 goals. The best part of 5 goals, Lauderdale behind, so it'll be a good test for them. Hopefully they can fight this game out.
You mentioned Webley there. He's just a jet around the ball. He's a Rolls Royce, so much time. As it's one down there by Siggins off to Jones, who threw it away, and a great tackle there laid by Franklin. Handballed off nicely out to Stanley. Stanley works it out to Heavey, who should have a shot from here, boys. He drives it long. That's a clever kick, but it's chopped off nicely there by the Roos, and they will attack again.
There he is again, the coach, Jeremy Webley, drives it inside 50. No one there for Clarence, picked out by Lauderdale and Clever Camp. Still in the Roos, forward 50 though, and the ball tied up.
It's really interesting to look at the different styles today, boys. Clarence have, I think, kicked the ball a lot more often than perhaps Lauderdale, who like to use their hands in close and spread on the outside, where Clarence almost back their long kicking and I guess that dangerous forward line to get it in over the back. So yeah, contrasting styles.
Brady Jones, quick handball over the top. Stannon's lurking. He picks up the football and goes bang. So Trent Stannon in his 150th game puts some icing on the cake for Clarence. You just about think that's enough, boys.
What you don't want to see here from Lauderdale is an absolute blowout, because they need to stem the flow here, because this is too easy. There's just too much space playing off their players there. Standing, that's too easy for a man of 150 games experience. Brilliant work by him. That's his 3rd goal.
Well, he'll learn from that, Blake Newell, because again, he was caught behind on the stoppage, and Stannon with space to move and then just to run onto the loose ball and straighten up. So plenty to take out of this, I would think, for Darren Winter when they go back and watch the replay of this Duff TV match for TSL footy.
35-point margin now, Brownie. So really getting away from the Bombers now. Clarence in complete control as Wade Wall goes up again alongside Smith for the Bombers. And looks like we won't be going too far. We'll get another ball up right where we were a moment ago.
So almost a restart here for both these sides. Umpire will just throw it up. Wall and Smith tussle. One down by Smith. Tried hard. Keeps going. Harper, handballed over the top, finds Wall. Wall pushes it forward again into Callanan's path. Callanan's got 3 to beat, can't do it. Handball comes out now for the Bombers. Wide swinging big handball, but it's only going as far as Holmes. Holmes does well against a bigger man. Diving on the footy there was Fife, and the umpire's looking at it, and he'll ball it up. I've been impressed with Holmes down there, boys.
Yeah.
The young fella there, James Holmes, number 35, he's been okay.
They looked pretty steady early, in particular in the first quarter. Had read the play pretty well down back.
So here are the Roos. Harper thrown into the surface here at Blundstone Arena on what's been a perfect day for TSL footy.
Interesting, boys. It's really early. What are we, round 3 for the year, and this is only Clarence's 2nd game. They had the bye in round 1, but they clearly look a better team than last year.
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt. They've picked up some wonderful players over the summer. Jackson O'Brien,
I was about to say, Brent,
hasn't really had an impact today.
No, I think he's been off injured, so saw him at 3/4 time. So still plenty of upside for the Roos, isn't there?
Jordan Roberts goes forward for the Bombers. But Clarence quickly turned the ball over. They drive it up the wing. And a good, strong mark taken by the former AFL player, Josh McGuinness.
He's been pretty steady, McGuinness.
He has. He's been good for them down back.
He's probably missed his brother in all respects. Obviously, another Mariner playing as an overager this year.
And 50.
Yeah, encroached the mark there. So, over the mark, I should say. And it is going to be 50. So
I think you're right there, though, Brownie. They've missed Ben McGuinness there, but it is Ben, isn't it? I get
and he just gives them that flexibility, 2 tubes to go back or forward, and they've probably lacked that mobile target around about that centre-half forward position today.
Sun slowly fades here at Blundstone Arena as the Bombers attack again. Boscott acted as if he was held on to there, but the umpire let it go and have a boundary throw in.
I think the word you used to describe Boscott is pretty spot on down there, Brent. He's very, very raw, isn't he? He's not your classic sort of footballer. He's so talented yet so raw.
So 35 points is the margin. Chance here for the Bombers. They get close to goal, but the Clarence defence stands up. The ball tied up, but the Roos get it out. Well played there by Clarence. They get it out of danger. Booted up the commentary side of the wing here at Bellreeve. Mark couldn't be taken by Standen. Ball spills to ground. And the umpire will ball this one up.
That was 9 goals, is it, between Standen and Cox, or a little more than that?
Yes, it's exactly 9. Brilliant work.
Well, if you come into the game and you're Clarence and you're going to get 9 goals out of the forwards, you're going to win more often than not.
Run down by Smith. Gets pushed in the back almost. Callanan does well. Off to that man in Harper, who handballs back to the Bombers. Here they come again. Big fly there from the younger man in Hill. Hill will get the free kick. Yep, a chop of the arms. He's got to move it quickly. Has Wiggins down long, but it's coughed up.
They're really well set up for that kick, Clarence, in the back half. And peeling off there was Michael Fisher in case that kick was erratic.
Castle goes to the centre of the ground here. Good overhead mark. Couldn't quite hang on to it, Siggins. And the Bombers now get the kick away through Heavey inside 50. Boscott lurking. Castle, though, picks up the footy. And balls over the top. Now it's with
Wiley.
Wiley, yes.
Blackburn now from the wing. Kicking long down towards his teammate there, Murphy Cohen, who gets the ball, but it's going to be pushed out of bounds.
10-minute mark, final term. TSL Saturday afternoon footy here at Blundstone Arena. And it is Clarence in cruise control now in what's been a very entertaining contest. Nice and close throughout before Clarence sort of took control there in the latter part of that third quarter. Ball back in play. Smith in the ruck for the Bombers, but it's the Roos who get the high ball. Cox is there. He's been so good. 6 goals this afternoon, but running through is Ian Callanan, and he kicks the goal. Ian Callanan, some icing on the cake again for Clarence. They are up and about.
He's done that his whole career. I'm talking from Oz kick through to now. He has done that exact movement. He is a jet. And look at the way he just reads this ball here.
And the speed in which he hits it. Bang.
Yep. And all too easy for him.
And it's not easy to finish like that either, going flat out. He's a jet, and well done. That is his second goal. Extends this lead out. They are now, what, 30? Someone do the math.
41.
41,
is it?
We've just had an update from Damien Gill from AFL Tas. It's the D's losing to
disdain,
Fremantle by 2 points. And he is devastated as the ball comes out now nicely by Franklin. He gets his kick away. It's all Bombers down here. It'll be Lamses.
And just one of the nice names going around at TSL at the moment. He kicks.
It's nice on the spit.
So Lauderdale, they just want to make sure this does not blow out 2 big boys. I'd love to peg a couple back here just to show how close this game has actually been for the majority.
Uses it well, Clever Camp, doesn't he?
He does.
Obviously one of the distributors.
Hill back in towards Franklin. Franklin gets his handball back to Bell Chambers. That's a clever kick. Oh, this man's been trying hard all day, but hasn't had a lot of it, Bryce Walsh. And he gets DDT'd almost out here on the far wing.
DDT. Jake the Snake Roberts. That was his signature move.
So we'll see a ball up right on half forward for the Bombers.
Siggins in the ruck, and he's been dominating there all day in that particular position. Good tackle by the Roos. And it'll stay on the ground, and the umpire taking their time to blow their whistle today in these situations.
I think it's been very well umpired.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
No, we've actually, the umpires all 3 rounds have been terrific. We must make special mention of them because it is the hardest job in any sport to umpire a game of footy when you've got everyone sitting on the boundary line who's an expert. Siggins gets wrapped up in a tackle, and we'll see another ball up here.
Mentioned the Speak Up Stay Chatty Cup before, boys. I don't think the winner of this game wins the cup. It's the best team over the 3 games throughout the year wins the Speak Up Stay Chatty Cup. So Clarence
is that right?
Will go 1 up in the best of 3 games between these 2 sides. We look forward with interest to those 2 more games as Lauderdale go inside 50 and Boscott takes the mark. So can Lauderdale peg one back here?
I've been really impressed with Anderton.
Yeah, he
Brownie.
hasn't got a lot of the footy, but whenever he has, something's happened. He just had the presence of mind there in the stoppage, just not to blaze away. Pulled the kick a little bit and allowed Phil Boscott to run on and have a set shot for goal.
Pretty dark down towards that bottom end of the ground now, boys, as the sun goes past the grandstand here at Blundstone Arena. Thor Boscott trying to put some more goals here on the scoreboard for Lauderdale. They've been pretty good this afternoon, but the scoreboard doesn't quite reflect that at the moment. And it goes away to the right. Chance now. Mark, the whistle's been blown.
It's a free kick for too high over
An
the shoulder.
Advantage being
advantage
paid. Yep,
paid.
Nat
Okay.
Franklin kicks the goal. So, not entirely sure.
Won't get an easy one than that, Tubes.
No, I don't understand how that's gone against
Hang on.
Clarence there.
Is that a...
I think it's a free kick to Clarence. I thought it looked like that on the replay,
apologies.
and they've given him 50
Given
for
him
that
50,
for playing
yeah.
on. So
Yep, fair enough. So Nat Franklin doesn't kick a goal.
I think he hit the post, didn't he? Yeah, when I looked at it.
So Clarence have it on the far side of the ground. They've really turned the notch up here in the latter half of the third and this final quarter. Siggins, who's been
You've loved his
fantastic
game, Brent,
today.
fair
I
to
have
say.
Weberly. He kicks it long, the coach.
Harper's a chance, yep.
And downfield. And that's been called from the umpire in the opposite 50. So the third controlling umpire here has called that from absolute miles away. It was probably there, but I don't understand what the other two umpires are thinking if they're not paying that free kick.
So Standard.
who's got it?
No,
Is it
Standard's
Standard or
not
is
going
it-
to take it. Looks
It's going
like
to go back to
Blackburn.
is it?
Yeah.
In these situations, we obviously want Aidan Grace to be having a shot for goal.
So Blackburn has been pretty serviceable today for the Roos, hasn't he?
Well, he's one of those players. I mean, you know what you're going to get from the likes of, Callanan, Cox, Siggins, Stan, and these sorts of players, Jones.
Funny
and Clarence
action
are going
here
to
too,
progress.
Kev, the way he's holding the football here. Look at this.
Yeah, a
Whoa.
bit of Ben Brown about that.
Yeah.
Wow. What are they doing down at Clarence? That's an
Oh,
interesting kick
That
off the
was
boot.
an interesting kick, but it's okay. It's gone through for a goal, but goodness me, there's some interesting run-up styles here at
They've
Roos.
liked their own work, haven't they, when they kicked a goal today?
They've really given themselves high five.
happy
haven't
with their
they?
own skin today. There's no doubt about that, but full credit to them as this one gets out to
In the glove.
47 points all of a sudden. They've probably kicked, look, I dare say, Tubes, 6 or 7 of the last 8 goals and have ran right away with this game. But as we said, he's one of those sort of players that if Clarence are going to progress,
This is what they need, isn't it?
they need some of those guys coming through to really improve. I guess you'd call them second tier or those mid-range players. And if they can be really solid, consistent contributors, the Roos should feature prominently in the finals.
Ruck one down. Nat gets it off. It's Nat Franklin. And here comes Fife. Driving the ball long down towards his teammate there in Hill, who takes a good mark.
In fairness to Lauderdale too, they've lost players, like we mentioned before, Siggins, Cassidy, Waller, Dodge, Duggan, so Tate Turvey. So there's a fair bit of experience and class out of that particular team.
They're going to be 9-2, Cam, which is unusual sort of territory for Lauderdale. They'd probably normally win at least one of their first 2 games this season. Obviously had the bye last week. So where does it leave them with the season ahead?
Yeah, it's interesting because we're on Duff TV. We've seen how many teams now choose. We've probably seen the 5 teams. So it's, as I say, fully a small sample size for us. But it's certainly probably haven't got the depth in their squad, early stages, that they had last year. So they'll have to change things up a little bit.
What we have seen is promising signs from football sides. I think we saw that with Hobart City. We saw it a little bit with Devonport in the second half last week. And we've certainly seen it with Lauderdale as
Hill.
Kick around the corner from Hill goes through from behind. But we've seen promising signs for these football clubs, and I think it's great for the league as well.
46 points is the margin, so game over here as we approach time on. But it's been an entertaining one. Really enjoyed watching this Eastern Shore derby, the first one of 2017. Punched away by Lauderdale out of bounds. So 19-7, 121, 11-9, 75. So 26 scoring shots to 20.
Perfect start for the Roos, boys, isn't it? 2 wins and a win over the Tigers last week.
Correct. In very sloppy conditions here at Blundstone Arena. The ground's held up pretty well over the course of the week. Here's Heavey, who kicked that amazing goal right on the quarter-time siren earlier today. Walsh.
Just hasn't
really. He's had someone riding him all day, though.
And I'm assuming he's 100% fit, but I've seen him have some huge games against Clarence, where he's won 25, 30 possessions and kicked 2 or 3 goals, because he can go forward and kick goals, or he can kick goals from the midfield. But just struggled a little bit today to break the tag, so to speak. And it's been a really disciplined game, in fairness, too, from Gabby Chambers. He's had a terrific defensive game for the Roos today.
Free kick going the way of Lauderdale.
It's going to go to Bryce Walsh, is it?
No, it's Reece Sutton.
5. Nope. Wrong again.
We'll raffle it.
I'll give it away.
Well, Heavey might take it. But,
I think Sutton.
Yep.
So the last name we called there, we called out nearly a fifth of the Lauderdale team there.
Sutton from about 50. He just chips it up, trying to get Walsh involved in the game. Handball comes over the top by the Roos, and they're out here. They're running wild as it comes out through Ling. Nice big long kick and a good strong grab there to Blake Newell.
You mentioned earlier, Cam, about both teams heading towards 100 points. Lauderdale really have slowed up.
They have.
The scoring department,
Since I
haven't they? Yeah.
Pretty
really
much.
put the moz on them. Here's Lauderdale as they go through McManus.
Well, I thought they had the makings of a game like that, where both teams could score over 100, but well worked there by Bryce Walsh.
He's come into it a little bit,
space.
hasn't he, Bryce Walsh, the last 5 or so minutes.
We've called his name at least a couple of times.
We have. So he goes short, and the man on was a good mark by Mega, so he'll go back now and have a shot and try and put some respectability on the scoreboard here for Lauderdale.
Good clever kick there by Walsh, just into the path of Boscott, but chipping in nicer there was Mega, and he'll go back and have a shot here. No interesting run up from him, just the regular style. Drills it, and he sprayed it.
Just 21 minutes gone in the final term.
Cox to play on here, boys, to himself.
Let's see how Cam.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Well, must have heard
just
you.
Probably getting too cute now. I just thought he'd kick the lazy 6 and might just feel like a bit of a run. Ooh.
It's not a great kick. Here's Fife now. Intercepts the ball for Lauderdale.
Bell Chambers out wide, finding McManus. No real movement in the forward line there, though, for Lauderdale. So he chips in the middle, finds Clevercamp, or Clevercamp, whichever you like. We'll accept both. Out wide. And here's a chance now, running in.
Robbie Mack.
Boscott at the front. That's beautiful roving there by Heavey. He handballs back towards that man Hill, and Hill's gone bang. He has kicked a beauty. Wow.
Well, you mentioned it. Alex Heavey was in a beautiful position there to crumb that footy, and had the presence of mind to handball off, and they needed that one, Lauderdale.
We've just seen the replay here. It was a great contest. Boscott does that, exactly that. He provides a contest. Heavey in the right spot, just couldn't get a hold of it, and then clever enough to handball over the top to Hill. And a beautiful goal by him. Magnificent stuff. That's Raymond Hill's second goal today. Unfortunately, it won't affect the result, boys. Clarence well and truly are going to win this game. 19-17, 121 to Lauderdale, 12-10, 82. 39 points the difference here at Blundstone Arena.
Good to see the fans have hung around to the end, even though this game is well and truly over. Fife goes backwards.
Sutton does well.
Webberley. He's done well to get the kick away there, Jeremy Webberley. And now back inside 50 here for the Roos under the football. Couldn't take the mark, and now Lauderdale through Heavey come out of defence.
Clever kick up the wing towards my man in Anderton, but he gets a punch away, and it's a free kick call. So play on's the call. That should be downfield.
Yeah, against Cox on young Newell.
So it'll be a free kick taken by Hill. Hill has numbers in the middle, finds Heavey. Heavy moves the ball quickly into the middle of the ground.
Good kick.
Clever kick to Sutton. Sutton to Hill. He'll drop what he should have taken, and coming out nicely is Bailey, and he'll clear with a big barrel.
He does, but it's gone straight to the opposition. And Lauderdale again, the sting really out of this game now. Wasn't a great option.
Look
and now
out,
here's a
boys.
chance for Clarence. They've got space, they've got numbers. Jones, though, didn't use it very well. Here's Weberly, gets the handball away. Siggins, look how
Roos
athletic
fires
he is.
off,
He goes inside 50, Sam Siggins. Roos lurking. No one could take the football, and it ends up in the hands of Lauderdale. Bell Chambers, backwards to McGuinness, back to Bell Chambers. He drives it forward, and the mark taken out there on the outer side of the ground. Robbie McManus plays on quickly. And Lauderdale managed to control. It was clever. Hill. Backwards. Sutton.
Boss got one out.
Sutton goes in. Boss got there. 2-on-1. Fisher dives onto the football, and there might be a free kick here. There is. So push and free kick going the way of Clarence.
Great contest by Thor Boscott again. He had two people to beat. Just got to the front of the ball there. Beautiful work there, but unfortunately no good.
So we are counting down the minutes here to the final siren. It's Clarence with a very healthy lead over their Eastern Shore rival, Lauderdale.
Clever by Hill. Back to Alex Hill. That was Raymond Hill. I assume they're brothers. There's not that many Hills getting around.
39-point margin. Clarence in cruise control. Good flying, good leap there, but Fife throws it onto the boot.
Courageous stuff.
Was courageous under pressure, and the ball will be locked up though. And
It hasn't shown on the scoreboard, but the last 5 minutes have been pretty good for Lauderdale.
it has,
Could
yeah.
have got a little bit ugly and got out
Floodgates
to
were starting to open,
a
weren't they?
10-goal lead, but as it stands, it's going to be a comfortable win to the Roos, and that they have been the better side quite clearly today. But Lauderdale still a little bit playful here in the last 5 minutes as Robbie McManus kicks a goal.
Oh, wow. Casual as you like there, Brownie. Nice work. McManus kicks his second, and the margin back down to 33 points.
So yeah, a bit of respectability here for Lauderdale. As we just said, the floodgates were starting to open, and Clarence are on a bit of a roll, but to peg their way back to 33, where it blew out to over 40, is a little bit of a tick.
Look, they'll learn a lot from it, and I think some of the goals that Clarence have got today, particularly over the top, where Cox and Standen and Callan have been able to run into space, or when there's been a stoppage and they've left their men have let them run onto the obviously contested ball situation with a bit of space. So there's plenty to take out of the tape for Lauderdale.
Absolutely. I just want to quickly mention, guys, the first quarter went for 29 minutes, second quarter went for 31, the third quarter went for 32. Are they a chance?
Yeah, well, they're going to have to score pretty quickly.
No, they're not.
I know there's
No,
that.
okay,
I know
that's fine.
there's no chance, but I know there's that Lee Matthews theory,
Yeah.
which I think you started, in fairness, Brent, a long time before Lee Matthews did.
I'd like to think so, Ken.
Don't start, you two.
Weberly gets the free kick here for Clarence. Have a look at the
I
replay.
really liked his second half.
Yeah.
He's really led from the front, and just as I say that, he's kicked it in the man of the mark. But
Here's
Out it
Lauderdale.
comes to McManus, out wide, finds Sutton. Sutton handballed over the top to Walsh. Walsh now with time, kicks long down in the Borscott direction, but he's got three to beat. Provides a contest, but it's all Bailey. Goes into the middle, that's clever to Jones. Jones has got a beautiful kick on him, kicks long into the path of, going back with the flight. Clever camp.
clever mark.
Clever mark. Wish Wilson almost went. Fisher was on his hammer though. Wish Wilson just chips it up, finds Walsh. Walsh at centre wing. Chipping again. This is better by the Lauderdale boys. Lamsus into the middle. Flying for the footy. Here's a chance now. That's beautiful work there. And this is my man, Michael Anderton. Looks like he just pulled at the hammy there, but he'll take the kick. No, he finds him Boscott. Well, I'll tell you what.
Better off having a shot.
Better off having a shot there.
Yeah, I mean, he's on a more acute angle now. Boscott.
Sort of chance from here, Camp. You give for
It's going to He's going to take his best, as they say, Brent.
I'll call it now. He'll miss. There you go. Sorry if you're listening in the replay there, Thor, but I like you, mate. You've been one of my favourite players out here today, but you're going to miss this goal.
So Boscott lines up and he's pushed it right and punched away over the line.
One thing that makes Clarence dangerous is they run out winners by, 32 points. I think I said 30, boys, so I apologise. I was a couple of points out.
Yeah, I'll go back over that if you like after you finish there, Brownie.
I did. If you
19-7, 121. Clarence, Lauderdale 13-11, 89. Entertaining afternoon of footy, but Clarence prevail in this round 3 clash.
We'll quickly go through the goal kickers, if I may, boys. Clarence, Jake Cox had a great game with 6 goals, 3 to Aidan Grace, then doubles to Ian Callanan and Michael Blackburn, and just the one for Matty Ling. For Lauderdale, it was 3 to Ryan Wiggins, then 2 to Thor Boscott and Raymond Hill, then singles to Alex Heavey, Dylan Fife, Ethan Wish-Wilson and Michael Anderton. A great game here today, boys.
Just looking ahead to next week, boys. Clarence on the road to the northwest coast to take on Devonport, and after the Magpies' first couple of weeks of the season, you'd think Clarence would start favourites in that particular game, and Lauderdale are hosting Launceston, which should be a great battle down there at Lauderdale next Saturday afternoon. So
it's an important game for Lauderdale after this loss today, but full credit to the Roos. They just had too much class, and in particular when the heat came up in the third quarter, they had all the answers. And look, Lauderdale fought it out towards the end, but a different look about them this year, and so certainly some signs, some promising signs for them in particular. But Clarence, full credit to them. They're the dominant team and run out comfortable winners, and they do have a lot of versatility in their team. They're not frightened to have a small forward line, boys, are they? So no. Cox can go down there at times, Stanton. We saw Grace, and look, love the work of Siggins in the ruck. I thought he was terrific, and Cox was a star with 6 goals, and probably a difference in the end between the two teams. But a lot to like about him. Webley, I thought, got better and better as the game went on. So some of the names, in particular Blackburn, to come forward and kick a couple of goals was a bonus for them. I thought the work of Chambers, a really disciplined game on Bryce Walsh, because we know he's one of the superstars of the competition. But Lauderdale, I thought Fife was really busy for them at different stages. Wiggins looked lively. Loved the game of Nat Franklin inside today. He worked tirelessly and would have been in the best 3 or 4 players on the ground.
We saw the Clarence shot there on the screen, boys. Jackson O'Brien in the tracksuit. Hopefully he's okay and not too badly injured.
Well, he's had some bad luck with injuries over the journey, and he's one of their really critical players moving forward if they're going to progress. And I really like the look of Clarence today. I think they're, this is the first time I've seen them, but they certainly look a different look about them last year. They were very undermanned last year, and obviously played a lot of kids and youngsters, but they just seem to have a bit more seniority about their team this year, and players that have come in and solidified that group, and you would think they're going to play some finals footy this year.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. It is Southern Cross Tasmanian State League here. Round 3, repeating, it was Clarence by 32 points over the Lauderdale Bombers. You've been watching Duff TV. Thanks, Breno. Thanks, Brownie, for coming along.
Tubes.
Next week, we've got the Anzac Day clash between Glenorchy and Kingborough up there at KG5. So be sure to tune in. Thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Repeating, it is Clarence by 32 points.